in there. What's up, everybody? You get to hear my kid over and over again. Did you get that, by the way? It's nerdrotic.com. Greetings. What's up? Welcome back to the Nerdrotic Nooner. Apocrypha. Soyman, I just lost you there, buddy. Soyman the Sorcerer, Another Gen 42, Eric O'Sullivan, Sekonig, Dirk Mathers, Nathan Norman, I don't know what's going on, JPRPH1, how's it going? Matthew Matson and his wrench, how's your father? Kodak Knight, David Rayner, Mr. Miles, Chief Engineer, what's up, dude? Long time no see. The TFM Knight, I'm guessing that's the Fandom Menace Knight. And so many others. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. And today we have a lot to talk about. In between recording videos, I spent all day recording a video. I kind of took a day off from everything else. Now I have to catch up on everything else. And there's a lot of news out there that we have to cover. So we're going to talk about the ugliness in the comic shop crisis. Now, I got an email a couple days ago. We're not going to, I don't want to put the guy on blast, so we'll just say from a concerned viewer. And I like these emails. These are good emails. These are good to hear. So he said, you're losing me a little bit. You're talking too much about the comic book shops. I'm going to talk about the comic book shops. It's big news. And the reason it's big news and how this ties in to entertainment is it is, well, as you call it in storytelling, foreshadowing. It is foreshadowing bigger things because everything that we're currently going through with our favorite franchises like Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, the current era of woke Hollywood, well, the proving ground was comic books. And it had been creeping into comic books for many, many years, just like it was with Hollywood. And I think we've pretty much put to bed the argument, yes, Hollywood has always been progressively left, something I've known since I was a child. Yes, comic book artists have largely been drawn and written by people who are progressively left, something I've known since I was a child for decades. But it wasn't so hardcore partisan. They never chose sides. They would lean definitely one way, but they would never be outright offensive over and over again within their material to alienate half of their audience. Okay, they would always keep the almighty dollar in mind. Does that mean there isn't political, comic books and there isn't political movies? Of course there are, and we're not talking about that. We're talking about mass market entertainment, the stuff that everybody used to enjoy, that used to bring people together, like Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel Comics, DC Comics. And they decided to use that as political platforms. So we are now seeing the consequences. Now, the comic shops they hit hard times. We are well over a month in. It doesn't look like the industry is going to get going for a couple months. It looks like there are moves being made to get things going again. And instead of doing what Car D'Angelo from Earth 2 Comics recommended a month ago, instead of everybody stopping and putting your heads together, Marvel, DC, some comic shops, they all decided to do their own thing, all right? Doing what the comic book industry does. And now you got a big flippin' mess. And what doesn't get talked about enough, and that's why we have to talk about it here repeatedly on YouTube, because you won't hear it in the access media, and that's why it's dying. You won't hear it from some comic book creators. A couple have talked about it. And you won't hear it from retailers who largely just want to sell comic books. The vast majority of retailers just want to sell comic books. But some of the power brokers, some of the power players within the industry have basically sided with the publishers and not their customers by not doing the necessary work to find out what's going on with your own medium, with your own industry. And we heard that in my last video. We heard a little snippet from Brian Hibbs. We're going to go over a little bit of that live stream where he didn't think the customers for Indiegogo for projects like Cyberfrog, Wrecked Planet, and Pandemic from Richard Meyer or Jawbreakers. He doesn't think those customers are his customers. They are. They are. The reason it doesn't get brought up in comic book shops is because they felt like they weren't welcome in comic shops. Now, I think some comic shops would take a flyer on them, as a matter of fact, but things got too divided for too long. And now it's time to pay the piper. It's time to pay the piper. And we're seeing that with multiple TV shows, with multiple comics. Marvel canceled a couple, they fired a couple showrunners that I don't think they were going to run with anyway. But again, that's some foreshadowing going on. We have 3 shows in particular that are in huge, huge trouble right now that I've kind of heard some behind-the-scenes stuff on. And one of those being Picard. The other one is Westworld. And Doctor Who. We're going to talk about Doctor Who today. Yes, we are. There have been these watch parties that have been organized that are pretty cool. I'm not going to say anything bad about them. And you're seeing that there's still a huge audience for Doctor Who. A giant audience for Doctor Who. Yet it's not translating to actual Doctor Who. So why do you ask? Why did you put Doctor Who is dead in the title? Well, because it is. And that's proof. That's proof. You're getting millions of tweets. Millions. And millions of people interacting. Yet they don't want to watch new Doctor Who. I don't think there's any better evidence out there that it's flat out dead. We still want Doctor Who, but what you're giving us is just not good enough. It's a flat out rejection. Yet the BBC, because they don't want to swallow their pride, is going to continue with the same garbage that we're getting before, and it will lead to its death, especially if they're going to have to rely on HBO Max, which it looks like is going to be, it's coming out late May. I think I just saw something that it's coming out late May. But everything's on hold. Everything in Hollywood is on hold. So anything that was greenlit before, unless it was well into production, I think there's a lot of people worried whether or not their project is going to move ahead. Now, Viacom is in particularly bad shape with Picard, which we will get into. But we're going to start out with the comic book stuff, and then we're going to go into Doctor Who. Now, in my last video, and I know some people have talked, also, Kickstarter. Kickstarter, 35%. They're down 35% as far as people wanting to put projects on that site. And I'm sure it has nothing to do with the political gatekeeping that was going on. Very similar to what's going on in the comic book industry, what's going on in entertainment. 35% seems to be the average of drop in audience when, I don't know, when somebody comes out and pops off politically. For example, when Sir Patrick Stewart decided to pop off in Variety right before the week before his show came out and said, well, you know, it's about Brexit and the Orange Man. Did that affect the show? Do you think people just, I'm not going to watch it now. I'm done. And they're not going to go on Twitter and complain about it or Facebook. They're just going to not watch it in silence and move on to something else. And I think 35% is probably the average of audience that you can potentially lose with one bad statement. Dune recently did that as well. I guess it's going to be very debatable until the movie comes out, if anybody cares, whether or not it's going to be woke. Now, some of my friends have read the script and said it wasn't. But I don't think that matters at this point when one of the creatives involved, I can't remember if it was the director or writer who it was, said that one of the characters is going to be like Greta Thunberg, Thunberg, how dare you, who they described the character as a Greta Thunberg who has a degree from Hogwarts, who's a Jedi. That's automatically going to alienate somebody. It's just stupid. Don't say that. And I know why they're saying it, and I know they think they're playing to their audience, but then YouTubers make videos, other people find out about it, and it ends up just doing more damage. It's not promotion, it's Hollywood demotion. And that's been one of the biggest problems. Terminator Dark Fate, that was a pretty woke movie. I think that was pretty woke through and through, so I think they delivered on that one. Birds of Prey, there's a lot of man-hating, but I don't know how woke it was, but it was just bad. But it probably would have done better if Ewan McGregor didn't pop off. most likely would have made more money. Example after example. Also, New Warriors delayed another week. Not surprised. And that is the comic shop retailers stopping that from happening. So you can either say thank you or no. I mean, I honestly want that book to come out. I want it to come out right freaking now. Because it'll save the comic book industry. No, so we got publishers turning on publishers. We got comic book retailers turning on each other. And it's about goddamn time somebody started talking to the retailers, and the retailers started speaking up. I was watching a live stream right before this, doing a little homework, and I saw Joe Field and Philip Boyle both say something that was music to my ears. I want to sell comic books to everyone. They should be for everyone. Absolutely everyone. The problem is, Joe Field and Philip Boyle, I don't know if they were saying this before and nobody was listening to these guys, but we needed retailers to say that 3 years ago. 3 years ago. Because now it's at least being acknowledged when it's way too late. It's kind of like acknowledging World War III after the button has been pushed. Oh, maybe we are all going to die. You know, I mean, that's... So comic shops are going to survive. I don't... Some of the comments at me, I've never said like the entire industry is going to fall apart and we're never going to see another comic book, a superhero comic book sold again in America. That's not what I've said. We're going to have a large majority of the, not a majority, we're going to have a large portion of the shops shutting down over the next calendar year. They've been damaged, some of them mortally wounded, we'll just say. They're going to try to go back into business when things go back up because they've had some assistance, but more than likely, unless they have the greatest Christmas ever, a lot of them are not going to make it. And let's not forget how many we've lost since 2017, which hasn't been talked about in a little bit, which is over 100, well over 100. And when you consider there's 1,900 to 2,000, again, that's a debatable number. Nobody knows for sure, except for Diamond. And we don't know if those are online accounts or brick and mortar. We don't know. We don't know. But what I do know is when you call somebody's audience alt-right, that tends to piss people off. And when you do it in a very dismissive way, especially since, you know, Bryan's been put out there quite a bit lately. Again, he's a prominent voice in comic book retailing, and we'll talk about it a little bit. And like I've said before, the ins and outs, the numbers, I don't think there's too many people who know him better than he does. He's been able to, what I would call, game the system for a very long time and basically ride the comic book industry like a wave. His store doesn't expand. He bought my shop, but he doesn't really expand. His store has looked the same pretty much since I've known him. My shop, quite frankly, looks a lot like it did the day I left, except it's missing a few things. It's a little emptier. I used to constantly be changing my shop and moving it. So I think he's, I don't want to say complacency, but it's close to that. It's close to just like, I'm not going to take too many chances. I'm going to play it safe. And that is one way to succeed in the comic book industry for many, many years. And he has done very well at doing that. I think he's made an art out of it, and that's great. Then you have, the comic book barkers like the James Sim from Isotope, who's here locally. Those guys, he's down in Hayes Valley. It's kind of a sexy looking shop. It's where all the hip kids go. And we need more innovation in the industry, but I think I think we'll get some out of this, and maybe some new comic shops will rise. But unless Marvel and DC change how they're going to do business, I don't think much is going to change. It looks like Marvel's not going to do that. Like I said in my video, we're getting variants from the New Warriors. And somebody did pop in my super chat and said one of their local shops ordered 85 copies. And at first I was dumbfounded, but then I'm all, I kind of went back into my retailer mentality, I did not read every description from Marvel Comics. I don't have that kind of time. So when I was going through the previews, I would just see a number 1 and I'd order it based on on previous New Warriors number. Maybe they did that without even knowing there was a snowflake in safe space. I don't know how you could not hear about it. But that being said, there's a lot of comic shop, I would say I don't know what the number is, but I doubt a lot of them watch YouTube, which is a mistake, is a giant mistake. There is no better way to get real data, real-time data on fandom than YouTube. Watch a live stream. Yes, kick back, get some popcorn out, watch somebody's live stream, especially if it's about comic books, and read the chat. And that'll give you a good idea what's going on. Also give you a good idea of some bad stuff. But hey, you take the good with the bad. Also, I just want to bring up, is the woke era ending? Yes, it absolutely is. To talk about sports ball briefly, the NFL put out an order that I think rookies cannot be political, basically, or they can't wear political stuff on their clothing. I just briefly heard about it before I started out. And yeah, Disney, AT&T, they all need to start having rules like this. They all need to set new social media policies for their employees. Because I know for a fact that behind closed doors, although people are not talking about it in public, the DCs, the Marvels, the AT&Ts and stuff, they are certainly talking about it behind closed doors, what's been going on, because it is staring them in the face right now, what's going on. And if Hollywood and entertainment in general is not leaner, meaner, and more accessible to everybody, you're going to die. That's it. Keaton Smith, welcome. He's a new member at the proto-molecule level. Welcome, Keaton. I appreciate it. We are going to have a hangout tomorrow for a couple hours. So pay attention to I'll put it in my community section. Hey, Gary, good to see you. How's the family doing? Also, did you get my email, and will there be a member stream this weekend? There's going to be one tomorrow, Stargate 404. I needed to get caught up on some work, though. On some work here and with the channel, some behind-the-scenes stuff. And I'm almost there. But let's go. Hopefully you guys will be able to hear this. I think you should be able to. If not, you'll just hear it through my mic. His mic was really low. And if you can't hear it, then I'll just tell you what he said. How's that sound? Un momento. You're gonna see Ethan here in a second. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, that wasn't sized up right. Here we go. There we go. So they are talking about Ethan crowdfunding, and we don't want the sped up version.
Beliefs or their politics are comics should be for everyone. Yeah. Ironically, that's sort of the message that he's trying.
Hang on. Let me get the sound actually going through here. We'll go right. Give me a moment. Let's get it going through that. Might sound like you might get a little echo on this, but it should be fine. Should be fine.
To give in his own weird way. But Phil, what do you think? What do you think about that?
I completely agree with Joe on that. Like I said, comic books should be a big tent.
But I'm a little more curious about Phil and Joe. Like for real.
Start with Bryan.
Yeah, Bryan. Well, he gave his thumbs down.
This guy's a bomb thrower just for the point of throwing bombs. I mean, when I throw bombs, at least I'm trying to, knock out the hill so we can build a dam.
Well, I say that's what all of us think. I mean, that's a good analogy and everything, but I think Ethan thinks, I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but I'm pretty sure that's how that's what Ethan feels he's doing. Sometimes you got to, be a little hyperbolic to get people's attention. Listen, if a bunch of people weren't making videos on YouTube about comic shops, I don't know if the media would be talking about it. There was an article in The Guardian we're going to go. I don't know. I don't know. It would be just bleeding cool. And quite frankly, I know, the clicks are way down with Access Media. Way, way down. I talk to people every day. And it's getting a lot of traction here. So I would say that I'm not going to say me. I'll say a lot of us have been talking about it, and that's certainly helped. We have been throwing bombs to build a dam.
I don't know. I don't have time for people who push conspiracy theories. That's really all I can say.
Joe, what do you feel? What's your feeling?
I always thought he was a pretty decent artist, to be honest with you. I think part of the problem right now is that in all media, in order to get seen, you have to be as loud and as abrasive as you possibly can just to get any kind of a notice. And that seems to be what his modus operandi is. If you want to get into politics or that kind of thing, leave that to the side. I believe comics should be an open thing for everybody, no matter what their beliefs or their politics are. Comics should be for everyone.
Yeah. Ironically, that's sort of the message that he's trying to give in his own weird way. But Phil, what do you think? What do you think about that?
I completely agree with Joe on that. Like I said, comic books should be a big tent. If you are a huge right-wing follower or you're a huge left-wing follower, there should be there is a crowd out there. So if you don't like it, don't buy it. If you don't buy it, it will go away. 100% capitalism on that one. So let Ethan draw what he wants, and if you don't want it, don't buy it.
Right.
Okay. With every other artist or whatever out there.
Okay. That's sort of.
Yes. And guess what? A lot of fracking people are buying it. So there is a market. And to just dismiss it as a conspiracy theory. So I don't know what Bryan was referring to. But I'm going to guess that this, what we have been talking about for quite some time, which is, it's not a conspiracy theory. It's a friggin' fact. They have been using comic books to shape minds as propaganda. I mean, I just read America Chavez last Saturday on Yellow Flash's channel, and it's straight up YA drivel. It's all a lot of it has to do with the author's lack of experience in the world, but it's also part of the propaganda, and it's also part of people being hired not necessarily on their merit, how they look, which is, well, kind of racist to begin with. But no, there is no conspiracy theory here. It's a fact. It is a fact that comic book creatives have been attacking fans because fans have just gone, excuse me, could you make the comic books a little less political? That's all, less political. Go to the middle. That's it. Do we have to be, again, hyperbolic and, throw up, hyperbolic terms and use disaster a lot and fail a lot in our video titles? Hell yeah. You need to catch people's eye. But guess what? It's failing and it's a disaster. So tell me, how do things look now? How can you still possibly think that's a conspiracy theory? Fuck's sake. Hang on. We're going to go back. It's not done yet.
Where I thought we'd come down on that. Personally, I think the guy's business savvy and is using controversy like so many media types these days just want to gin up as much controversy as possible because that gets eyeballs, and eyeballs means money in this economy, in the whole YouTube economy, right? Just think of the thousands of pennies I'm making right now. Guys, I gave this away in a second, but on that same tack, what about this guy? This guy I view a little bit differently than Van Sciver. Van Sciver, I agree, a great artist, especially if you like Brian Boland. Richard C. Meyer, this guy, a lot more controversial, a lot more loudmouth. I feel like he has the occasional good point to make, but it's all couched in a lot of anger and a lot of really weird sentiments. How do you feel about that, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, I feel basically the same way I feel about Ethan. Yeah. But I mean, what I'll say is that this is the first conversation I've had with someone in relationship to comics and this guy all year. Like, no customer has ever mentioned him ever. So it's not really relevant.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Although if you look at the numbers on those crowdfunding projects,
Okay,
they're significant.
those aren't customers of ours. Those are people buying the alt-right thing to support that. That's that. I mean,
I'm still getting emails on that. I'm still getting emails. Speaking of emails, I just want to point out, yes, the deadline for the comic book shop help passed an hour and 12 minutes ago, and I need to contact the winner, and I will make the announcement on Twitter tonight and on a live stream tomorrow. The Nerdrotic Nooner is going to be later in the evening because I'm going to be on a live stream earlier in the day. Yeah, still getting emails on that. Okay, so where do we start? Conspiracy, irrelevant, alt-right. Dismissive, and this all is on political lines. Okay, it's all where, Bryan can have his politics. I know what Bryan's politics are, and that's not here to debate them. I don't care. He can have them, and Ethan can have his, and Richard can have his. Richard, diversity in comics is not even the closest thing to being hardcore in this situation. There is so much worse out there than Richard. He's toned it down a bit, but it really wasn't that bad. People are very sensitive these days, especially in the comic book forum. But that just is a political thing. And you can see it right there. That is political bigotry on display. That is, I'm going to dismiss everything. I'm going to call something alt-right or call them a Yahtzee because I am just so far on the other side of this thing. And there's just not even an attempt to find common ground, because why would I? That person is a demon. And here we are. I mean, I don't know how you fix that, because that is an ingrained, built-in prejudice. And the fact that I'm finally hearing other people use that term, political bigotry. I mean, we need that. I hate using people can have their goddamn ideas. It's okay. But that keeps us from getting anywhere close to common ground. And you know what? It's been going on so long. There's a lot of people in CG and other places. A lot of people in the fandom, with the Fandom Menace, who use that hashtag, are not interested in talking. They're beyond interested in talking. We tried a couple of years ago, but after being called, and listen, when we say people are called Yahtzees, that's not hyperbole. I mean, I've had my head photoshopped on Yahtzees multiple times. I've had Reddit threads written about me personally being an ist. It actually showed up when you Googled freaking Nerdrotic, and it's not something I do. It was something that was brought up to me, and then I did it on a live stream, and it's still there. So, you know what? Does it truly bother me? No, I actually go along my merry way because I consider the source. But, it's okay if it does bother you, and it should fucking bother you, because it's dehumanizing you, and it just makes you a villain. And that's why people in masks can just walk up and punch you, because they think you're a Yahtzee, because the media and the access media and creatives and shop owners have all been signing off on it, which legitimizes it. I put a little comment, I doubt it's still there, on Joe Quesada's Cup of Joe live stream, which I think Tom told me they had 300 people watching, on a channel that has millions of subscribers. And I put a comment, basically I'm paraphrasing, like, welcome to YouTube, get a mic, don't antagonize half of your customers, and don't wish trolls who have doxed people in our realm over here happy birthday. Because when Joe Quesada does that, and I'm sure a lot of you know what troll I'm talking about, I'm not going to bring her up, that legitimizes that, what I think is a paid op, personally. That's what I think. And that's where no common ground can be found at this point. And, I've made videos. Do I think things are going to turn around? No. No, I want them to. It doesn't mean I'm going to not try. But if you ask me right now, how do I think things are going to turn out? Marvel, when things start up again, there will be 30 variants with whatever relaunch, whatever Iron Man or Thor relaunch they do. Maybe DC's going to try. I think what DC has been doing proves what Ethan said and what Bryan said, is that DC is in real trouble. Like real trouble. They don't have time. They cannot sit down and not produce comic books. So I'm guessing AT&T said, we need results, we need them soon, or you're done. Or we're going to fundamentally change how you do business. And I think the beginning of that was when they moved out of New York. I think when they moved them to LA, I think that was kind of the beginning of the end of DC, personally. Let's get to you guys a little bit. We'll go over a little bit of that later. Joel Field, I've met. He is the creator of Free Comic Book Day, and he's a nice guy. He just wants to sell comic books. I don't know Phil Boyle. I might have met him once. And I know Bryan, and I can't defend what he said. Has Bryan helped me when I was a shop owner? Sure. Were we friendly a lot? Yes. Did we bicker and disagree on stuff? Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially towards the end, after I sold the shop, a lot of shit went to crap. A lot of that was me because I was coked out at the time, so I wasn't at my best. And yeah. But that doesn't apply to this. I mean, the last conversation I had with Bryan in person was a friendly conversation. But I can't defend that. And I won't defend it. And that doesn't fucking help anything. Damn it, I cussed. Sorry, Father Christopher Miller's out there. But when I hear that, I get discouraged. I get very discouraged because I don't know Phil, but I know Joe. Joe's not going to get in there and scruffle and get down and scruff it up and get into a fight. He's not going to fight for this. He's a nice guy. He's going to be polite. And I think we do need some scrappers out there who are comic shop owners, who are big mouths, who are on the opposite side of Bryan. Now, I know some of you are out there, but I don't want to call anybody out. But there are some who, if they spoke up, people would listen. Like for instance, I would listen to Jamie Newbold from Southern California Comics. Because as much as Bryan knows about comics, Jamie knows more. Jamie knows so much more. Probably one of the best retailers out there. Car D'Angelo is a very good one too, but that's another nice guy. Jamie will scrap. So, but maybe he's not interested. Maybe he's just fed up, like a lot of them are. I saw an article about a comic shop owner, Jesse James. Maybe you've heard of that guy. I don't know. And he had a pretty good message, and we might read that in a little bit. Or we can read it now. I hate bringing up Bleeding Cool because it's a shitty website. Rich Johnston is not a good human being, and the ads are horrific. They're absolutely horrific. But maybe I can read it to you without showing the website here. I thought it was a pretty good message. A lot of it was vague. So Jesse James says he's under attack for selling comics. Jesse James Crisione is the owner of Jesse James Comics of Glendale, Arizona. As a store that dropped Diamond Comics as a distributor at the beginning of last year, see, a lot of shops have been doing that. He started the comic book shopping network. As a result of this, he has a rather unique take on the current changes in the comic book distribution, especially the take up by Brian Hibbs that, how are you supposed to read an article? I know, this is why I'm not showing to you. When a pop-up ad comes up and then it makes the damn thing jump. Hate that. I know ad block. I should probably do that. Especially the take by Brian Hibbs that informed pretty much everything we were talking about this week. That informed pretty much everything we were talking about this week. Rich Johnston, writer, Bleeding Cool. Jesse writes and passed to Bleeding Cool the following. So here's my take on one of my closest friends in their industry post. We as local comic shop owners have failed our customers in so many ways. We have let our egos get in the way of taking care of them. We have made so many people happy over the decades of selling comic books in their time of need. We, as store owners, have failed to use the opportunities before us to continue to do that. We have failed to unite in any shape or form a sizable, relevant group for the good and future of our industry. I almost can't believe that Rich posted this. Here, I will show it to you. It's going to jump around though. So there's the dude. Little selfie face right there. Recently, many of us have come under attack for selling comics. No matter what our state rules said, we found a way to sell our customers comics. No matter how much we work to better our great industry, the old guard would rather pounce on progressive store owners and tell the public that what we do is wrong or unfair. I have watched local comic shop owners make decisions on not taking care of their customers and telling them why they shouldn't support a publisher for moving forward. Customers want their books and not the political side of it. They don't care where they get it from. And you know what? It's up to the individual customer. And So Bryan, basically, lately, has been getting on DC and Marvel. DC and Marvel have not been good to publishers. DC's been better, but not recently. I understand that. But that being said, they need to survive. And if they need to go outside of Diamond because Diamond made a decision for them, so be it. If they want to sell to stores that are open, so be it. If you're so worried about the health of your industry, why would you be against some cash flow? Or would it be because you're actually selfish? You're worried about your industry as it relates to you. And it's that inability to see the big picture that, quite frankly, Bryan has always had. Again, he knows more about retailing than I do. He's lasted longer than I did. He's got way more friends in the industry. He's connected. He freaking, helped get Sandman out there. He's buds with Neil Gaiman. I know all that. It's a big blind spot, though. There's a big blind spot there. Political and with collectible comics. And I won't get into the ins and outs with that. Let's just say Bryan wasn't a big believer in back issues. I am. And if you are a shop owner, it doesn't matter what your thing is. It could be magic cards. It could be anything. I made Doctor Who toys sell because I was into it and I wouldn't shut up about it. And apparently it worked because I made a lot of money off of Doctor Who toys. And I made a lot of money off back issues. And I could have made more. I just couldn't clone myself because they're a lot of freaking work. And that's why a lot of people don't get into it. But I personally can sit there and alphabetize comics all day. I think it's fun. It's kind of like raking sand for me. It's very peaceful. Bagging and boarding. And yeah. So there's a blind spot there. And this guy's spot on, right? If people want their comic books, let them find them digitally. Let the digital come first. It doesn't matter. It's all that product's dead weight anyway. They're going to have to, there's a bunch of comics that are probably not going to get released. You know, Marvel put pencils down on 35% of their titles. A lot of those are going to get canceled. We all know that. But I don't know Jesse James here, but I like what he said in the beginning here. So today I no longer, let me put that up there. So today I no longer can look backwards for my customers. I can only look forward with my friends and local comic shops that want to do something now. The rest of you local comic shop owners can take your negativity and remember the good old days. Today, the new LCSs are taking care of their customers and really, just really, have no more time for you and your post. I have been on an island by myself before in this industry. Now I sit on an island with so many good friends who just want to sell comics to their customers around the world. We will find a way, and we will always offer to help others to do so as well. When it all settles, these customers will remember. Oh, Jesse, so many of them, and I know what you're getting at. I know, you got to do a lot of reading between the lines here. So many customers will remember. There's one, there's no nerd that is alike. There is no each individual nerd is unique, but there are commonalities. And one of the commonalities with nerddom is we tend to hold a grudge. Now we can come back, but once we're turned off, we're turned off. It's hard to completely turn us off, but Spider-Man sales will never, ever, ever be the same because of Dan Slott and before that One More Day. They just won't. It'll always sell well. It's a popular character. He's more popular in the movies than he is in comics. But permanent damage has been done to that character. And they haven't really done a lot to completely, permanently undo it. They've made headway. They've made progress. But sometimes that's too late. That's too late. And there are a lot of customers out there who have been permanently alienated because of just it's constant. And then these same customers are seeing G. Willow Wilson, Dan Slott, Mark Waid, all these fools who started this problem out there, giving stuff for charity. Oh my God, let's have a dinner with Kelly Sue DeConnick. I'm sure that would be so much fun. I'm sure, I bet you better bring your wallet because you're probably going to have to pay for that. You probably paid for the right to have dinner with her, but you actually have to pay for dinner. That's what I'm saying. So yeah. Those who chose to give them negativity. Okay. There we go. When this all settles, these customers will remember. Those that took care of them through their time of need, however, they will remember more. Those who chose to give them negativity and zero comic book therapy, I like that. We are in a world of now. There is no hiding in the forums or secret groups. You can choose to be a better LCS owner for your customers today. You can make this industry come back, the greatest of all time. Fight the good fight. P.S. I will probably get pounded for this post. Absolutely. Many of you know it doesn't affect me one bit. I take pride in what I believe and say in a public forum. Good for you. You're not going to get any bashing from me, buddy. The only thing I'll say is, man, I wish I heard that 3 years ago. That would have been nice. Again, the realization has come, but the button has been pushed. The missiles are flying. And you better hope Ronald Reagan's Star Wars works, or we're all dead. All of us. Keaton Smith for £2. What's your favorite and worst episode of Buffy/Angel? I'm going to get back to you because I'm going to remind me to get back to you on that one, Keaton. Smile Time is one of my all-time favorite episodes of all of it. I'd have to think about worst. And that's an Angel. That's an Angel. There are bad episodes, but no, I don't think any episode of Buffy or Angel is bad. I think Joss Whedon is bad now. That's somebody I used to like a lot, but what a great example. What a great example of somebody who just popped off a little bit too much, started, there's some people who are really, 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 really good writers when it comes to scripts, paper, but when it comes to public forums, not very good. So a guy I used to be a champion for, used to sell a lot of comics, can't stand him now. Can't stand his face. Can't stand to hear from him. I won't support anything new from him anymore because he has been god awful on social media. Like awful. And this is why I don't follow actors or creatives of any kind unless they, follow me and they're in our little sphere here. I follow Ethan and stuff. But Ethan's not part of that. He's not. Neither is Richard. And you know what? They're so much better off. Who wants to even be part of this crap anymore? Look at all the compromises you have to make to work in Hollywood and comics. It can't even be close to being fun. Dwight Schmitz for $5. Showed wife trailer for Gotham High. She said it looked like something for Monster High. It did. Gotham High. Gotham High. That was pretty bad. America Chavez is worse. If you want a great example of a horrible comic book, I believe you can get the first issue. If you're a member of Prime, go ahead. Just read a couple, 3 pages. You don't have to read the whole thing. Yeah, you'll know within 2 pages of what people are talking about. And I talked about this with Yellow Flash. There are a bunch of comic book reviewers out there who could just dust off their old videos from 3 years ago right now, and they'd be relevant. I mean, just put a new and just go, hey, I recorded this 3 years ago. Take a listen and repost it. And because there's a lot of new people here. There's a lot of new people because of the Phantom Menace and Game of Thrones. There's a lot of people who are not aware that this has been going on for a long time, and it's been oh so ridiculous in comics. As bad as like Rian Johnson have been, and Jar Jar Abrams and Alex Kurtzman, they've got nothing on Dan Slott, Kelly Sue DeConnick, Tom Brevoort, Joe Quesada, I mean, Mark Waid. Listen, I don't think anybody from Hollywood would try to stop somebody from making a TV show and then selling it on Netflix. But that's what one of the comic book creatives did to Richard Meyer. He wanted to sell a book in a comic book store, a book that was basically G.I. Joe meets King Kong. Because he went on national TV with a bad haircut, not advisable, Richard, and because of the dark roast, which is nothing. I've actually said worse on this channel recently. He was painted as a Yahtzee. So Mark Waid, in my opinion, obstructed that book from going into comic shops. Now it turned out, better, but maybe not. Maybe not. Because maybe if that comic shop had gotten in the stores, it would have helped him get in the industry, which could have led to mending fences because people would have actually met the guy and probably gone, hey, he's not that bad. Which, well, I mean, how many cases do we need of the media and the access media and creatives being wrong? Just wrong, consistently, all the time. And everything we see now, they're just flat out wrong because they're lying. Because they are politically prejudiced. They are so bigoted that they don't even realize it. I mean, objectivity is like, we're in the death of the era. I mean, there is no objectivity left in the world except for Mahler, maybe. But yeah. So imagine George Lucas stopped, like my friend Ian out there who does a Rebecca Gold. It's a web series. Imagine like he's going to go sell it to Netflix, and yeah, a George Lucas or a Jar Jar Abrams or a Rian Johnson calls Netflix and goes, Ian is a bit of a bigot because he doesn't like Doctor Who. And Netflix says no. Which is, by the way, it's against the law here to do that. You can't do that. But somehow Mark Waid is getting away with it. Hopefully not for long. Richard Meyer is suing him currently. I think the lawsuit is still going on. These things take years. I hope he wins because that would be a victory for fandom. We see fandom get trampled on. I mean, Kurtzman straight up, in my opinion, rips people off. Alex Kurtzman, the repurposer from Star Trek Picard, in my opinion, ripped off the Tardigrades game from Anas Abdeen, Mass Effect. I mean, there's other games that I didn't play that I'm not aware of. He rips off his own show. He rips off Expanse. Again, this is all my opinion. This is just opinions. 13th Warrior for $5. Thanks for being open about your substance abuse. We learn to examine ourselves and take responsibility in recovery. SJWs need to learn this. I'm sorry, it said 13th Warrior. My bad. Yes, SJWs we need a 12-step SJW program. We do. Absolutely do. Because it's tearing up our pop culture, which is in turn tearing up our society. And yes, you have to, I had to come to the realization, I'll use my I statements, that I had a very serious problem that I had to deal with or I was going to die. And as a person who has been on death's door a couple of times, it gives you a new perspective on life. And it's okay to be wrong once in a while. I'm wrong every day. I woke up wrong. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Calm down with your egos. And that, a ultimately it's ego. It's insecurity and ego. There's a lot of insecure artists out there, and that's part of the being the artist thing. I understand that. I do. But these, I mean, it's the same as celebrities and artists and creators, like people like Mark Waid, they are like giant celebrities in a very, very small bubble. It's hard to explain to the normie out there. Like, these people are rock stars to a very small amount of people, but they act like Elvis did. Jeff Green for $1.99. G-Man Coffee Fund. Great work. You are amazing. You're amazing, Jeff. You're all amazing. You're amazing. You're breathtaking. I'm pointing at the chat right now. You're breathtaking. This shit that's going on is. Did you see Az's video today? Ooh, that was a good video. I got angry. I got angry as well. I think you have every right to be upset. Don't let anybody shame you about fucking anything. But if you're truly mad and you want to talk about, the comic book industry, don't let some jackass who knows nothing about effing comics, who maybe put on a Spider-Man shirt a couple times and think he's a nerd, shame you into not being pissed. Why do you care? It's just a comic book. It's just a TV show. You are not the arbiter of my life. You don't tell me what I need to care or what I don't want to care about. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. I don't care if somebody says something mean about me or mean about the Fandom Menace. I don't give a crap. I had somebody on Twitter adding me private DMs, which we'll talk about in a second. I freaking hate that stuff. But you know what? I'm going to speak my mind. And there is a little comment section. You can go in the chat and you can disagree with me and that's fine. I have no problem with it. But it's not really an argument to ask me why do I care. It's just meant to belittle and shame. Fuck that. So, just a quick message, just an aside because it's hitting my brain here. A very concerned YouTube account that's very brand new is adding me with private DMs of somebody saying something mean about the Fandom Menace. For the record, I don't care. That's that person's right to say that. That was in a private conversation. That was never meant for my eyes. I don't take it personally because that person was just talking about the Fandom Menace. The person did say kind of a homophobic, problematic remark, but whatever. I don't care that person said that at all. Again, it was never meant for my eyes. In my opinion, with obvious exceptions, posting public DMs is snitching. I see it. I don't see any difference. Snitch, posting public DMs, no difference. Of course, if you have permission, of course, if you've been threatened, and for receipts, again, if everybody involved in the group gave permission, okay, totally fine, no problem with it. But those are obvious, rare exceptions. Doing that otherwise, yeah, you're a snitch. And I don't play internet drama. I don't play that Twitter bullshit, and I never will. I'm 50. I'm too old for that shit. Nerdrotic is never late, chat, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. Damn right. Stargate 404 for $5. Yeah, sorry I was late though. Joseph Nash for $2. Gary, your jock strap is big enough for a beard mask. My jock strap is... Oh, are you saying that I should wear a jock strap for my beard mask? No. I mean, I guess I could kind of ponytail it or whatever. The mask, I don't know. It's a fashion thing. I'm not near anybody. When I go outside on my walks, I don't get within 30 feet of any person. So I don't know. I put it on once in a while, but quite frankly, I hope everybody's safe. I hope you're doing well. This is a very serious situation, but I am personally not worried at all. That doesn't mean I don't mean to minimize the deaths, of course. That's very serious, and I'm very sorry that happened. I don't mean to sound insensitive, but I am personally not worried. It doesn't mean I'm going to be reckless and stupid, but I'm not worried. The Bay Area is doing pretty good, all things considered, and I hope you are as well. Michael Hulk for $10. Hail! Do you recommend Kingdom Come? The art looks amazing. Also, I'm a huge Batman fan. Nothing. It cut it off there. Hang on. Nothing past New 52, but I'm interested in reading Marvel. What is a good character to start with? Well, there's a big problem with Kingdom Come that I have personally that, quite frankly, I have to get by. And that's Mark Waid. That's Mark Waid. But Kingdom Come is great. I mean, it's freaking great. I'm not gonna lie. It's a fantastic book, and it's one of the ones I use as a primer. So a lot of times I'd have a guy come in or a gal and say, "Hey, I've never read a comic book, but I want to start because I saw a superhero movie or my kid likes it or something like that." It happened. It did. And the 2 books I would give them automatically, if like, well, first you ask them what their favorite movie is, you kind of get an idea for their taste, but I would automatically just go to Kingdom Come or Marvels. Those are great primer books to get people in, and they're an overview a bit. One's an ending story, obviously, and the other one's just a history of Marvel, but they work. It works, and it's got customers. But you got to get over the Mark Waid thing, because Mark Waid is a POS. He's a giant jerk. He's an asshat, and he's an unapologetic asshat who's tried to keep people from making money. Who legitimately had every right to make money. There was nothing wrong with the book. Now, if somebody was, I don't know, it's still not up to Mark Waid to decide what goes into comic shops or not. I don't care what the hell's in the book, to be honest with you. There are books that exist that I can't stand. I'm not a big fan, but I won't begrudge my customers for buying them. I'm not a fan of the Avatar books. All right. The torture porn books. People love them, though. I wouldn't carry them in my store. I would order them for my customers if they asked, but I would not put them on my shelf. I thought that stuff was terrible. But some people like it, and that's great. Wasn't going to carry it in my kid-friendly store. Sporking News Podcast for your Pete's for $2. Hail, hope you got my DM on Twitter, my friend. We need to talk. Declan, and thank you for the $2. Declan Lyons for £5. You're getting earlier every time, Gary. Have a coffee on me. Cheers. Thank you. You know what? I'm doing better. I'm never going to be on time all the time. I do YouTube for a living. Yeah, I don't want to be right on time for anything. I'll be close though. I'll do better, but yeah, that's why I got out of that 9 to 5 stuff. By the way, I would still be doing this if I was working a day job. I would just be doing it at night. That's how I started this as a hobby, and I'd be talking about the very same thing. So to go back to what the email said earlier, I'm talking too much about comics. If I was still working at Tesla doing my 9 to 5, I would be doing the very same podcast right now. Wouldn't be any different. So Not Sure is a member at the proto-molecule level. Welcome. Thank you. The Left Can't Meme for $2. Say my name. The Left Can't Meme. And we're talking about the wacko fundamentalists. I don't want to say weirdo. God, is it mentally ill? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Yes, there is some mental illness there. And that's not, you know what? Get some help. Get some help. There are people out there who need some serious help. Like, it's one thing to make a video on a public persona, or I tend to make them on, I go after Jar Jar Abrams, Rian Johnson, the comic book industry. I try to stay away from, the Mags Visagios or the Heather Antoses as much as I humanly can, unless they put out something ridiculous. By the way, a great example that gets me thinking of this party, of the woke era ending, okay, is this from Mags Visagio. We're going to go, what was that called again? Vagrant Queen. Who didn't see this coming? Yep, it is canceled. I'm trying to find the article here. Where'd it go? Now I can't find the article. They have, was it TV series finale? Oh, now it's gone. So Vagrant Queen, it was on some other site. So what, here, I'll just show you the picture of it. So Vagrant Queen was based on a comic book by Mags Visaggio, who is not a very popular writer, but she tends to get a lot of work. You can all do the math, but she's part of the alphabet community, which doesn't impact what I think about comic books. I don't care about that stuff. If you write a good comic book, by all means, I will read it. I don't care what you do in your own time, ever. But there is some who say that this person got their job based on how they identify and not really based on their talent. Now, there might have been a time where you could argue that. But considering that Mags had the lowest selling comic book in the country in February, a comic book that sold 700, and this Vagrant Queen here, it was optioned, and it was such a successful comic book that they didn't complete the series. And the final issue sold under 900 copies in a country of 331 million people. And I'm pretty sure those were worldwide sales. So this TV show gets optioned. And now it's gone. It was averaging, I was kind of stunned at the ratings. It was averaging, I think 300. So there's the ratings right there. 300,000 people watched it. That's what I'm a little surprised about, to be honest with you. So 375,000 people watched the first episode, 310, and then it dipped 100,000 in the third episode. So they have axed this show. Now, what they've done is rescheduled it. They're going to air out the first season, but it's done. It's not going to get a second season. And the most important thing that we need to talk about is that 18 to 49 demo. Now, I don't know. Some of you may know or not know what that percentage means, what it means in numbers. So when you see a 0.4, 18 to 49 demo, that means that's a percentage of the entirety of that demo in this country. It's flat percentages. It's not the percentage of people watching the show. There are 128 million people in this country currently who are in that 18 to 49 demo. I have personally just exited that demo last year because I'm 50, so I don't count anymore. And it's the one that people look at. Forget that 200,000 whatever. It is that. So this show had 0.04% of that 128 million people, which is, here, I got to do the maths on that just a moment. We'll do the maths on that because, listen, I was kicked out of 3 high schools. So you got to times it, right? So it's a 0.04 times 128 equals. So that means about, I did 0.8. 1, 2, 3. So that means about 51,000 people in that demographic watched it. Roughly 50,000 people, give or take 10,000 or so. In the entire country, 50,000. I've had videos that have done better. I've had live streams that do better. And I'm sure you guys have had posts that do better on Twitter. And like, there was no interest in that. It was just so they could hire her and go to NBC Universal and say, hey, look, we did our part, instead of maybe finding somebody who's an actual good writer. And this is what's been going on in the industry. This is a byproduct of a very good economy and a very affluent society. And you can do this. And I'm not against them giving people more chances, but it still needs to be based on merit. Now, beyond that, if you stop the most talented person because they identify in a way that or identify with an alphabet community or anything like that, then we have a serious problem. but it still needs to be talent first. And no, you know, anybody can be talented. Talent does not. That's that whole thing is done now. It's over. It is fucking over. And the saddest part about it is Mags was given that opportunity, and instead of paying her dues, she decided to get political on Twitter, get political in her books, and whatever support she had or whatever chance people, because most people would have just bought the comic and seen that name and probably not thought about it very much. But now they know who she is because she put out a couple of tweets wanting to bash white cis males' teeth in with a bat, you know, because that's normal. That's what hurts you. It's not how you identify. It's your lack of talent, and what you decided to do with your opportunity has nothing past that at all. Bullshit. And those days are over. And that's not the only show with itself, but that's in trouble. But that's a great example of Get What Go Broke. The only reason that show was picked up was to put Mags on display as an ornament. I wonder how well Mags took the opportunity. You can't really blame them for taking the opportunity and the cash. But that was your chance. I hope Mags didn't think that was going to last forever, that Hollywood actually believes in Mags's cause, because they don't. And all it took was something bad to happen to change everything. Sorry, Mags. Truth hurts. And yes, again, instead of improving on her craft, becoming a better, maybe reaching out to like the John Burns, and maybe she did, and maybe she's just not very good. Now, she had been around for quite some time. She's not new, but there was something new happened, which we won't get into. I'm sure you can guess. And then all of a sudden she started getting work. People simply called that out. And you know, you're allowed to call that out when you go, listen, there's some tokenism going on here. There's nothing wrong with saying that at all, especially when it's that obvious. And it's going to lead to, we're not going to get very good work. And if you don't have a good product to sell, you're not going to have many customers. Then the comic shops will have less customers. And then, if something bad happens, it's all going to fall apart in 4 weeks. I hope the one lesson we all learn from this is nothing lasts forever. Nothing is permanent. And something bad is always around the corner. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. It doesn't mean you freak out. It doesn't mean you have anxiety. It just means you prepare. Prepare. So many companies were not prepared for something this long. And we can't judge them. I mean, like, it was pretty comfortable. It was pretty great. The ones that survive, bet your ass they're going to prepare for this. Bet your ass Disney is not going to spend half their meeting on diversity or any of the other bullshit. They're gonna spend a lot of time on crisis management. Die-cast Star Wars vehicles are the best memorabilia, says Riding Sonic for $2. I'm not going to argue with you if that's what you think. The old school ones are brilliant. I have an old school die-cast X-Wing and Millennium Falcon somewhere around here. I have the die-cast Enterprise too. Had it since I was a kid. I am a fan of the action figure. I think it's art. Welcome to my living room. Make yourself at home, says Scottish Nerd. Why, I will. Could you get me something out of the fridge? And is it okay if I make a couple phone calls? And yeah, thanks for letting me in your house. The left can't meme. Thank you for the $2. They certainly can't. Her in the Steadfast for 10 Canadian dollars. Just a donation. I appreciate it. Thank you. Michael Henley for $12. Dagnabbit, I was later than Gary. I know. Shame on you. Off topic, but having trouble. Did you struggle with your first and second step? Did I struggle with my first and second step? I certainly am, says Stargate 404. Yes, I struggled with every single one of them. That's why I had a sponsor work through them. I tried to do them on my own. That was pointless. You have to redo them too. Well, it depends on the person, but I do my steps once a year. Mark Gibbs, welcome to the Geloja level. Hail! Thank you very much. Yes, I'm a grateful recovering addict. I'm a 2-time felon. That's why I was thinking about doing a video. I didn't. About the Anita Sarkeesian comments and the Joaquin Phoenix comments about releasing. Well, he didn't say release all prisoners. She did. She's an idiot. She should spend a night in prison, a men's prison, Folsom. She can go spend the night in Folsom, which I'm sorry is that way. And if she survives, then she can have a vote. Joaquin, he's dumb. They're dumb. They're dumb. Actors are dumb. They are meat puppets. They are adult professional pretenders. And we should not listen to them at all. Except for when they read off a script. Do you believe those late night shows like Trevor Noah has like they have multiple writers? And if you see Trevor Noah now, like, for one, he's still talking at his desk like he's new at live streaming. He's all quiet. He's all like he's afraid he's going to wake up his mom in the next room or something like that. Project, man. You know how to do that on the stage, but maybe they need that crew or whatever. I missed that, what was it? Hands Across America last Saturday when all the late night hosts got together for the Who. Please. Raging Golden Eagle. What's up? What's up, Blade Devil? $5. Patreon is next. Who wants to put their financial security into the hands of someone who will arbitrarily ban them for what they do off-site? You're right, and I've had to struggle with that one. Raging Golden Eagle. By the way, Blade Devil. Check out Blade Devil. Indiegogo. And I stayed on it because I had a lot of people there. But I think Patreon is next. I think they're going to have... They put up a giant red flag with their stupid little video. If that happens, folks, we'll just go to my website. Which I could do that anyway. And I could start, just a baseline subscription. It'll probably just be one tier, just one price, and just come on over to the website and we'll do stuff over there. Or just stick with the memberships here. I don't know. I can't spread myself too much thinner. I'm going to pass out. But yes, thank you, Raging Golden Eagle, for the $5. It was great streaming with you. Hope to do it again. Had a good time. Kickstarter gatekeeping is shite, but good stuff like In Search of Tomorrow, guys who did In Search of the Last Heroes would still be backed. Good stuff. Shill over. It's okay. There are good projects on Kickstarter. That doesn't mean they didn't politically gatekeep. And I didn't think about it. I backed Todd McFarlane's Spawn on Kickstarter, and I almost want to not back it now because I was reminded. I watched Zach's video. I was reminded of what they did. And they remember they shut down Mike S. Miller. They shut down your boy Zach, and nobody even bothered trying after that. And they brought somebody in to be a political gatekeeper, political bigotry ingrained into a business. So let's go to Kickstarter real quick. And I have to admit, I get a little joy out of this. I do. And I think a lot of you do too. A little schadenfreude. And it's okay. It's okay to feel that way. We don't want people to lose their jobs. But part of calling stuff out is helpful. I use this analogy a lot. There's a giant booger hanging off your nose. I'm going to tell you there's a giant booger hanging off your nose because I'm a friend. I care. And I'm going to go, hey, you don't want to walk around with that giant booger hanging off your nose. But there are people who won't. There are people who wouldn't tell me I have like a pork chop hanging out of my beard or something like that. That's fine. They don't care about you. We care about this industry. We care about the legacy. We want to continue giving it money. That's why we call this shit out. Nobody said that we want the comic book industry or entertainment or Doctor Who or Star Trek to be freaking alt-right or pro-orange man. We just want it to be for everyone. So when you are a political bigot towards us and we clap back, we have every right to do so, but we don't want you getting fired. And we're trying to save you from your own stupidity, save you from yourself. But if you continue to do it, no, you're not a bad person by going, you know what? I told you so, because you and that person can be an example for another person. Kickstarter plans layoffs after new projects on the site drop off by 35%. Now, EVS did a live stream on this. Your boy Zach did a video on this. Go check him out. This is my favorite part. Talks are starting with the union. The union that they just brought on last month, or was it a year ago? February. Let's find out. Kickstarter announced in an internal memo today that it's likely going to lay off employees. CEO Aziz Hassan writes that the crowdfunding company has already seen a significant drop in crowdfunding projects being listed on the site, which is how Kickstarter makes its money. Projects are down about 35%, the memo states, with no clear sign of rebound. So maybe they were waiting for some of the refugees from Marvel and DC to run on over to Kickstarter. Todd McFarlane's there, like, making tons of money. But maybe it's their business model. Conversations are now starting with Kickstarter's union organizers about potential layoffs. 60% of Kickstarter's 140 employees are unit members, and they successfully voted to unionize in February this year, making them the first major technology company to do so. This sounds like it was 140 people who worked there, and 139 of them were under the age of 25 and went, unions are awesome. That'll guarantee us everything because Bernie. And, well, you know, everything's an opportunity and everything's a lesson. There you go, kiddo. Hassan writes that the company brought in $1.27 million in after taxes last year. That's all it made. That's all it made. And that money has already been reinvested back into the business. It's gone. And we are just ending the first quarter. Yeah. He's now looking for more significant cost cutting, including reducing senior leaders' salaries, including his own, not automatically back hiring open roles. In other words, you're not bringing on any new staff, and cutting the budget wherever we can. Still, layoffs are likely imminent. I think unless somebody swoops in and buys it, Kickstarter might be toast. Sounds like it's going to be toast. And there is no reason for Kickstarter to be toast. This is the one thing that should be doing just fine right now. I wonder what changed. I wonder what the factor is on this. I wonder, is it the same reason that Doctor Who's ratings went down and Star Trek Picard interest is at an all-time low and Viacom stock is hitting the trash and Star Wars is a dead meme and nobody wants to buy the toys anymore and comic sales are in the trash and stores were basically facing the apocalypse in just 4 weeks of an economy shutting down when everybody has to shut down? Is it the same reason that nobody talks about? You know, instincts. Instincts are something that isn't talked about enough. It's something you have or you don't. I think most people who are small business owners tend to have good instincts. I would guess that a lot of people who are here in the common sense sphere have pretty good instincts. And I don't, like I said, you either have them or you don't. You had something great. Kickstarter, I didn't even know there was an Indiegogo until recently. Kickstarter I've known about for years. This thing should have been completely kicking ass, especially now. And a lot of the artists and writers at DC and Marvel who are freelance, who can go off and do their own work, should have been firing up a project immediately the first week in. When they saw this thing happening, they should have, boom, get moving. Just like Jesse James was saying, you know what? When something bad happens, it's completely okay to yell and scream about it, but eventually you have to do something. You have to do something. And they had their opportunity. They could have reached out to people, but the thing is, the people who are crowdfunding, they told them all to F off. And now Indiegogo, I don't know how well it's doing. Seems like it's doing pretty well. And it sounds like it's better to be on Indiegogo anyway. So this is just going to be, this is natural selection. This is, Indiegogo is going to profit from this. And these guys were idiots because they alienated a bunch of their customers. And I'll say it before and I'll say it again. You cannot put a number on the people who walk away without saying anything because that's the majority. I think 35% is a pretty good number. 35% down. 35% of the titles are being shut down at Marvel. Doctor Who's ratings for a long time were down 35%. It got much bigger. Yeah, 35%. Almost half. Yep. 35%. I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't. Let's read the rest of this real quick. Kickstarter has tried to encourage creators to keep posting projects during the pandemic, except if you are one of those wrong-thinking people who wants to do comics about gorillas and G.I. Joe knockoffs. Sorry, Richard, I'm just kidding a little bit. And frogs and Blade Devils and other things. Cyborg USA, I don't know the person who does it. I came across that on Twitter. That looked pretty cool. The art looks very, very cool. Check that out. I might post that up a little bit. But yeah, here's the memo below, 35%. Guess what? We brought on a union. When did the union start again? Here it goes. There it is. Okay. Conversations are now starting with Kickstarter's union organizers about potential layoffs. 60% of Kickstarter's 140 employees are unit members, and they successfully voted to unionize in February of this year. So 2 months ago. And now they got to fire. What's the percentage of people they fire? 25%? I don't know. Oh, well. Karma chameleon. Drake is 6 for $5. There's a huge audience for quality Doctor Who, Star Trek, and the trash Chris Chinballs and Alex Putzman. Not for the trash Chris Chinballs and Alex Putzman are putting out. I can talk. Yes, there's still a huge market for Doctor Who. There's a huge market for comic books. There's a huge market for Star Wars. And there's still a pretty huge market for Star Trek, but people aren't buying it. And it's for all the reasons I put out earlier in the live stream and have been making videos about before. And we're seeing the actual results now, the actual consequences that I've been warning were coming. And we would have seen this anyway. It just sped everything up about 2 years. And now it's over. I don't know if the culture war is over. I'm not going to go that far. But woke entertainment, the era of woke entertainment is coming to an end. And if it doesn't come to an end, it'll still be over. In other words, are they going to still make stuff for a couple, 3 years? Sure. And that stuff is going to fail immediately. And they're already seeing it. Believe me, they're paying attention. They're listening. They're scrambling. And I don't know. I don't know. I've just got a feeling in certain regions, things are going to get going again. And I don't think it's going to be an all or once thing. So that's what the comic industry is going to have to deal with in Hollywood. I think certain regions are going to get back to work. faster than others, and it'll be incremental, and it'll be up to the people essentially to decide when they go back to work. I don't think, like I said, it's a very serious situation, but kind of like Crowder says, I'm not going to be shamed into anything. So you make your decision, I'll make mine. But when it comes to this, there is a giant audience for Doctor Who, and we've seen it on display with these viewing parties. And I know a lot of people have interpreted that as bringing the fandom back together. No, it proves it's dead. It's absolutely dead. A rewatch of a Tennant episode that's 10 years old is getting a bigger audience than something that airs on the BBC. A much bigger audience, more interaction. People are excited, they're enthusiastic, and guess what? It's actually bringing some fans together. Because that era, which could certainly be, you could look at it as progressive, because Doctor Who's always been kind of, I don't know. I don't think that's a partisan point of view. I don't think being against war or being against genocide is partisan. That's all. It's because it's not, for fuck's sake. Hail, Gary. But they like to believe that. Like, well, I'm against the war because I'm progressive. Okay, so yeah, so all Republicans are just like, yeah, let's have some war today. I want to wake up. God, I wish we'd had war. Please, can we have a war this morning? I mean, no, shut the frack up. And the same with the IST argument, which is worse. Woke comic pros dismiss Richard Meyer at their own peril. He'll grow a successful small comic brand in a few years, and they'll be unemployed, says Supersport for $5. You're absolutely correct. And I'm going to say something. I'm going to be very upfront and honest with you. I have talked to Richard via email and been on one live stream with him. His channel is what kind of opened my eyes to what's going on here. It was him and Jeff at World Class Bullshitters. Those are the videos that got me pretty much opened my eyes to the culture war. Now, I was watching Midnight's Edge a little before that, but they were more like news. So I didn't know what was going on with comics until I saw a video by Jeff Hicks and saw a video by Richard. Now, Richard, talent-wise as a writer, he's good. He's getting better. He's pretty good, but he's no, he's no Alan Moore. But look at how well his books are selling because of his platform, because he's a damn good salesman, because he is getting better. The books are quality. People can talk all the shit about them they want, but those books are outselling all the people talking shit. So you just got to look at the math on that one. You don't have to like it. You don't have to love it. You don't have to like Richard, but he most definitely has his own, and it was grown from his platform. That is grassroots as it gets. Don't need a fucking industry for that. And with the very unique thing about comic books is you can do that all day long. And you can do that with music too. Unfortunately, we can't do that with movies and television. As much as I'd love to, I don't think we could crowdfund $100 million for a TV show. Just can't. And that would be a cheap one. A cheap one. JPRPH1 for $1.99 says, cool shirt. Yes, this is my Superman work shirt. Yes. I dressed like I did in the comic shop today. So thank you. Thank you. One shall rise, woke shall fall. Hail, Gary, zero duality for $2 Canadian. Hail to you. Thank you very much. I'm lucky to still be working full time, so here's a little extra on top of my Patreon subscription. Thank you, Jonathan Schulter. I appreciate the $50. I have no idea why. The dog erotics, I think Mrs. Nerdrotic is home. Trooper Bear, thank you again, Jonathan. That is very generous. I appreciate you. And yes, it is appreciated. Our salon has been closed down for quite some time, and the longer it gets, I wasn't worried first couple weeks, 3 weeks. Now I don't know how much I want to say publicly. What Jesse James was saying is, you need to get creative in times like this. If the government has forced you to shut down, you don't want to break the law. But are you breaking a law? I don't know. I don't know. You just need to be careful, but you got to do what you got to do to get by. We'll just say that. Hail, Mrs. Nerdrotic. Trooper Bear FN 2525. Whoever wanted to get into pre-2016 before full orange woke Marvel. Do Jason Latour's first run of Spider-Gwen Most Wanted. 5 books. The art is pink. I cannot read that, Trooper Bear. That's you know what? I'm not a fundamentalist on much, but I am with Spider-Man. With Spider-Man, I'm irrational. Absolutely irrational. I hate Peter being an Avenger. I hated that. I pretty much don't like any Spider-Man from right before One More Day. Right before One More Day, I liked it. One More Day happened, it's been dead to me. And a lifelong Spider-Man fan. I have complete runs of all the books. All of them. I had a Spider-Man museum here in San Francisco. And it turned me off. I mean, that was the one thing I was into. Like, I'm into a lot of different things, but Spider-Man was my guy. Got a tattoo. Fucking love Spider-Man. I don't know how many times I can say it. And I was completely turned off. And it took me a little while to get turned off. It was that in the Dan Slott run, and then now it's dead to me. I don't even read Spider-Man anymore. Fuck it. It sucks. I can pick up other things and still read them. I can't. I mean, like, if Spider-Man's coming across a book, fine. Daredevil's now my favorite superhero. But I don't read anything current Marvel. I would love to, but I'm not going to support them right now. Anybody who hired Zoe Quinn does not get my support. They have every right to hire her. Oh my God, the chat jumped like crazy. I'm going back, guys. I'm going back. But you support somebody who, in my opinion, helped somebody self-delete and then made themselves a victim out of it. And the reason they hired that person was to give a middle finger to EVS and Zach. And I'm not kidding. There's a lot of people who probably don't know that. There's a certain nasty person out there who, oh, by the way, funny story, at Comic-Con, I bumped into her, literally. I had my head in my phone, and I was walking around the corner, and I go, poof, and I look up, and Zoe Quinn staring me right in the face. She probably had no idea, this was last year. I was with Jeremy. She probably knew who Jeremy was, but I wasn't with Jeremy at the time. Had no idea who I was. And she didn't give me the stink eye or anything. Actually, she's like, hey. I'm like, and I walked away. I touched it. But, yeah, she's terrible. I don't think she's a very good comic book writer. I don't know what creatively she does, but just what she's done in public. Again, I don't like talking about even her, as bad as she is. I'm not going to make videos about her. I'll talk about her in live streams and stuff. But the reason she was hired was because of YouTube critics. That's how stupid and petty this industry got. And I don't know if the comic book shop owners are aware of this. That's why you need to pay attention to this stuff. Because guess what, guys? Your livelihoods were dependent on decisions made by Tom Brevoort and Dan Buckley and all the a-holes who would hire Zoe Quinn as we'll just put her on a book, but that'd be a total middle finger to EVS and Zach or whoever. That Umbrella guy and Yellow Flash. Okay, you got us. What'd they get? Hundreds of thousands of views out of it, and you lost a lot more customers who, again, didn't say a word. Huge Anus sends a hot dog in a bun for $1.49. What are you trying to say there, man? What are you trying to say? I'm trying to get caught up because it jumped on me. Son of a Wolf. Hail, Gary. I was looking last night for Werewolf by Night Omnibus. Thanks for the recommendations, by the way, and saw that it's getting a reboot that launches tomorrow. Think it'll be worth a damn? No, absolutely not. If it's coming through Marvel, it'll. I mean, look at it if you want, but I wouldn't. Get the Werewolf by Night omnibus because they overprinted it. So Diamond's always including it in their extra discounted books. You can get it for 50% off in some places. Totally worth it. Fantastic. Peppermint oil capsule for £2. Got an umbrella sword to match your bowler yet? Not yet, but that's next. That's a good question. I'll be wearing the bowler hat returns for my next Doctor Who video, by the way. Oh, and we will go over Doctor Who. Russell T Davies has been a genius, and he talked about an alternate ending for The Stolen Earth. And holy crap, that would have been great. I wish he would have done it. We'll go over that. Went back to reading Thor's Journey into Mystery Comics. Hell yeah. The quality of writing and character development is leagues beyond the crap in modern books. Yeah. That's why, Nikki, if you want to get kids into comics, just give them older. Go get the Marvel Essentials. Get the reprints. Don't give them the kid crap today. Because honestly, the stuff written by adults today is kid shit. The Prime books. The Tom Kings. Yeah, read a Tom King Batman, and then go read a Denny O'Neil Batman. Have we progressed? Heels versus Babyface for $1.49 sends a phallic unicorn. Hail, Az. What's up, my friend? See you Friday. Yeah, and we're going to bag and board soon. So maybe later this week. If not, next week for sure, because I need to do some bagging and boarding. And I think that could be kind of fun, a regular thing, like morning bag and board. Bag and morning? I don't know. We got to think of titles. JPLA or Japla 821 for $5. The NFL is too late. It is too late for the NFL and other companies. The damage is done, and none of them will ever get my forgiveness of money. Same here. No, I don't watch any of the sports ball at all. F them. Oh, they're in trouble. They're in big trouble. You're going to see ticket prices getting a lot cheaper. Nicola, you're going to see movie ticket prices. Listen, the customer is king right now. The customer is absolutely king. You are royalty. They are going to roll you out the red carpet. If they don't, they're freaking dead. They better be kissing your ass right now. You deserve it. Because if some of you actually have a little extra scratch to spend on yours truly, thank you. Or a comic shop, or a Blu-ray, a new era of customer service better start right now. Restaurants, poor restaurants, man. And you know what? When we're more allowed to talk about it openly, I will, because I have some, as time has gone on, I have taken an approach of wait and see. I will trust my institutions and see what's happening. And what happened was Battlestar Galactica. To explain that, Battlestar Galactica did something very interesting. It would have been a trope that, back in the old days, if something horrible happened to humanity, who was left would unite and band together. No, we wouldn't. We'd bicker and get into tribes and stuff. And Battlestar Galactica did that. I thought it did it perfectly before Walking Dead. And that's what it's turned into. And instead of telling us the truth, the media and the access media have been doing what they have been doing in entertainment for years and in the real world, is lying to us all the time. Or everything is from a biased position. And I'm just sick to death of it. So I turn off the news. I've said it before. I don't watch a nanosecond of it. I'm fine. But I will talk about this stuff openly, because now that enough time has gone on, I think I have a clearer picture of it. And I don't think it's good. Hail, Gary. The Sarah Jane Adventures got the ending it deserved this past weekend in audio. Farewell, Sarah. Oh, I got to check that out. Nicholas Horton, I'll get it. Secondhand, of course. Thank you for the £5. That's good to hear. I own the Sarah Jane Adventures. That is a female-led show for kids, and it's great. And the 2 Doctor Who appearances are great. Doctor appearances. Drake is 6 for $5. EVS books are good comics. They are. His politics do not show up in his books. They don't. EVS comics are not Trump books. They're not. Unlike new Marxist propaganda cranked out by DC and Marvel and Black Mask, like Cal Exit, which is straight up like it's a revolutionary comic book written by retards. Sorry to use that word, but it's true. So here we go once again. I own them. I read them. So, I mean, I guess I'm all right now. Am I all right? You wouldn't be the only person to think that. I read them. I've got them. I got Umbrella Guy's book too. I supported Dynamite on a cover. And yeah. And then randomly I've got, I showed this last time, but I was reading this because this is a great comic book. Hellboy is probably the greatest comic book series ever. It's the most consistent, brilliant, great comic book series ever. John Ortiz, welcome to the Proto Molecule level. I appreciate you. All right, quickly, we're gonna jump over here. It looks like Marvel axed some writers, and this is, believe me, this is first of many, folks. Excuse me, I need some water. Report, Marvel and Disney terminate deals with Punisher and Hellstrom showrunners. Well, they certainly sound like they were going to be woke. The last season of Punisher was so bad, I didn't watch it, and I loved the first season of Punisher. I thought Daredevil season 1 was perfection. I thought season 2 was damn close to perfection. Those are the 2 best things Marvel has produced, and quite frankly, they had nothing to do with Kevin Feige. Zero. But Jeff Loeb, for the most part, sucked. And everything else outside of that was woke trash, SJW Marvel garbage. I think the first half of Luke Cage season 1 was really good, and Jessica Jones season 1 was decent because David Tennant ruled in that. Season 2 was garbage. Iron Fist was garbage. Luke Cage season 2 was terrible. The Defenders was god awful. I mean, who thought it was a good idea to have Karen be the bad guy? Karen versus the Defenders. That's what it was. Sorry, Sigourney Weaver, but you were Karen. The report comes from The Hollywood Reporter, who claim their terminations are the first in what will be more than likely many more amid the industry-wide production shutdown as studios of all sizes begin to tighten their respective belts. They claim that terminations were done under a force majeure clause. A force majeure, is it a measure? Majeure? I don't know, I'm dumb. Clause typically frees parties from obligations due to an extraordinary circumstance like coronavirus. Guess what, folks? Why am I reading this? This is just Hellstrom. For one, it's the son of Satan, bitches, and that's what you need to call him, and it's a damn good character, and they probably make him freaking, I don't know. Oh, you know how they make him. I love the son of Satan. So, the horror Marvel comics are my favorite, and I don't want them destroyed. But the reason I'm reading this, I don't know if it's majeure, a force majeure, is something very similar may be happening at Viacom. Just saying. We'll get to that in a moment. It's unclear what kind of deals Lightfoot and Zabusky had with Marvel. Lightfoot did showrun the Punisher series on Netflix for 2 seasons. The show was canceled after the 2nd season by Netflix. As for Zabusky, he was in charge of the upcoming live-action Hellstrom series, It's Son of Satan. That is to debut on Hulu. The report notes that while Zabusky's contract was terminated, he will remain with Hellstrom as they wrap up post-production work on the show. It had completed physical production before the industry shut down due to the thing that shall not be named. I think I accidentally named it earlier. By the way, this is the same Hulu that produced Runaways, which was, it had a okay beginning and then it just descended into woke fucking CW garbage. The series expected to focus on siblings, Damien and Anna Hellstrom. Of course. We can't make it about a dude. It'll probably be about Anna. Did I just say Anna? Anna Hellstrom and not Damien. She'll be the primary focus. The son and daughter of a serial killer, but unlike their serial killer parent, the two siblings use their unique abilities to hunt down those who are terrorizing humanity. So, what? Zabusky's Hellstrom series was originally planned to debut on Hulu alongside an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ghost Rider spin-off series starring Diego Luna. And was expected to serve as executive producer on that series. However, the series was axed in September, with the Hollywood Reporter explaining the cause was creative issues. Other rumors indicate the show's cancellation could have been a financial one rather than an artistic one. Yes, and you're going to start seeing that a lot more. Scooper Mikey Sutton explained, I have strong feelings this wasn't just an artistic decision, but a financial one, a la Swamp Thing on DC Universe. He indicated it might have also have something to do with Marvel TV boss Jeff Loeb is no stranger to having shows canceled after they were greenlit, like Marvel's Most Wanted and New Warriors. Remember, there was supposed to be a New Warriors TV show. Do you remember that? Neither of which ended up on the silver screen either. Now they're going to base it on that Marvel Max. Yeah. I like the older stuff. And there might be something to the rumor, as Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige has eliminated all but Hellstrom and 2 animated shows, MODOK and Hitmonkey, from Loeb's Marvel TV that was recently folded into Marvel Studios. Kevin Feige has eliminated all but Hellstrom and 2 animated shows. What about What If? Did What If get axed? I thought What If was still coming out. Maybe I'm missing that. The news comes following Marvel Studios delaying their upcoming Phase 4 slate. Black Widow moved to November 6, 2020. The Eternals was moved to February 12th, 2021. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings moved to May 7th, 2021. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness moved to November 5th, 2021. And Thor, Love and Thunder, female Thor, was moved to February 18th, 2020. Marvel Studios' parent company, the Walt Disney Company, had disclosed in March that they raised $6 billion in debt. They raised $6 billion in debt. They would then raise another $1.3 billion in Canada at the end of March. The company furloughed 100,000 theme park employees, with 70,000 of them at Walt Disney World, Florida. They've also furloughed a number of their film employees. In early April, Disney announced staffers whose jobs aren't necessary at this time at their Burbank, California facility were being furloughed. I know a couple of those people. So, yeah, did What If get canceled? I didn't hear that. I don't necessarily... What If? Marvel What If? I'm checking right now. I'll be right back with you guys. God, you can't even... oh, my God. Never mind. I'll look later. Maybe you guys can tell me in the chat. Not that important. So, that does tie into to Star Trek, and you're going to see a lot of that. Now, I don't know. I think out of all these shows, Doctor Who is probably the safest for now. I don't know how hard the BBC is hit. We're going to see. I could see them forgiving the license if they haven't done it already. I've been in the comic book world, but I don't know. I know they forgave the license fee for older folks. I think they should forgive it for everyone because, quite frankly, the BBC's lying to you. You're better off keeping the telly off over there in the UK. And hail all of my friends, all the brothers and sisters and everybody else in the UK. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Nicholas Horton, thank you again. John Ortiz, thank you again. Thank you to everyone who had, 1.6 thousand likes. And I was supposed to only go 2 hours today. Looks like we're going to go a little bit longer. Thanks for everyone for being here. I appreciate you. Drink is 6 for $5. Thank you again for the super chat. Matthias Hernandino for $4.99 says, you're right. You weren't your customers, Brian Hibbs, and that comment won't hit you until your shop fails. Hail Comicsgate. And yeah, Comicsgate are your customers because Comicsgate doesn't have a hive mentality. They are individuals, just like the Fandom Menace. There are people who use the Fandom Menace hashtag who I don't agree on very much with, and I don't care because I'm not a gatekeeper or arbiter of who comes or goes or whoever wants to use that hashtag. If you can spell it, you can be a part of it. I have no say in that whatsoever. So yeah, Brian Hibbs lost a lot of customers prior to that. And there are certain things I can't say. I could, but it wouldn't be very nice. I'll just say that his second store probably, this is speculation on my part, his second store might not be around much longer, which was the one he bought from me. If I could find a way to keep it open, I still would. I don't want to go back. I've done my time there. I don't want to go back to that location. Yeah, you can't go back home again. It wouldn't be the same. The Big Red Bear for Canadian $5. I'm pretty far left. Want to take a guess what I didn't want to read in all my comic books and media consumption? I live day-to-day life, having to deal with these problems. Why would I want my entertainment to be there too? Exactly, Big Red Bear. Great point. So, you open your comic book for escapism, and it's spouting at you politics you even believe in and agree with, but you're like, no, I just turned the news off. I don't want to read it in here, whether I agree with it or not. Great point. Well done. Kip Ellis for £5. Doctor Who watch-alongs are like having a beautiful, vivid dream about a deceased relative or a friend, and then you wake up and remember they're gone forever. Wow, that is brilliant. That is so well said. Kip, I got to give you some screen time for that one, buddy. I got to give you some screen time. There we go. I don't want to see me again. Hang on. Whoops. There we go. Right there. Can you see it? You can't see it. Let me bring that out down some more. Just a mo. There. That is a great super chat. I mean, they're all great, okay? But like this really sums up what I was trying to say earlier. Doctor Who watch-alongs are like having a beautiful, vivid dream about a deceased relative or a friend, and then you remember they're gone forever. Gone forever. And that's what, I mean, it does good. It is. It's good to have community or whatever and go on Twitter and, you know, it's something, my God, it's something positive on Twitter. That's like a unicorn. And it gets people talking about it. I see Starry-Eyed Girl taking, you know, she's giving her pot shots too, but she's taking part in it. She's having a good time. And it just reminds you that it will never be that again. Even if Russell T Davies came back and David Tennant and they got rid of all the woke shit, won't be the same. That era is gone forever. It was one of the greatest shows ever produced on television. That era was its classic all-time television. It's not just classic Who. David Tennant's run is Hall of Fame type of shit. All-time classic type of shit. And it was it was a reboot, not a reboot, but it was bringing something back, and it was done so goddamn well. And it was all because of Buffy, Yep, and they did better. Writing Sonic, hashtag Neeks, the joining of geek and nerds against BS. Neeks. More. Thank you for the $2. Noel Morrison, thank you. Bravo to you. Thank you for the sticker for $5. Captain Spire. Sounds like the comic owners kept saying, I don't need them, realized that there's no one left, and the group, and that's in quotes, that supported them promptly disposed of them. Get those pronouns right. You're right. That group that they didn't need anymore, turns out they needed them. You need every customer. I would agonize when I would lose a customer. When I get emails now and people tell me peace out, which happens, I agonize about it. I tell them sorry, I can't change what I do, though. I can't change what I am. I'm going to talk about comic books. I mean, will I move on from the subject to something else? Absolutely. I have a Star Trek Picard review I've been working on for 3 effing weeks. And it's not because it's going to be some great Mahler-like video. I don't want to get your hopes up. It's just because I can't do it for longer than, it's now like 15 to 20 minute segments. And the thing is, like, my hair's getting longer. You can see that, like, at the beginning of the video, my beard was shorter. And I have to wear the same shirt. I have to have my blue shirt cleaned all around. Yeah, it's just the way it goes, man. And then I'm using a bunch of footage. So hopefully CBS, if it gets, whatever, I'm putting it up. I don't care. Kane 1906 for $5. Gary, rumors are circulating Joss Whedon may direct the MCU Fantastic Four movie. Based on what you're saying, I am now concerned. Thoughts on this? I'm not happy. No. Joss Whedon is not the Joss Whedon of even 8 years ago. Something has happened to the man, and I think it's TDS, and I'm not joking. I think a little bit of the Trump derangement syndrome has given him anxiety and made him go off the deep end. He would be absolutely the worst person to do the Fantastic Four, I'm sorry to say, because we're going to get Justice League Joss Whedon and not Avengers Joss Whedon. And why would Disney want to go back to work with somebody who dissed them and helped derail one of their movies? I think that's a rumor. I mean, I guess it could happen. Listen, it can be looked at as a step in the right direction. If we get old Joss Whedon who shuts the fuck up and just makes a good movie, sure. Fine. I love Buffy and Angel. Avengers is a great, great film. I wanted Joss Whedon should be directing the X-Men, if anything. I don't know what the Fantastic Four. What? No, the Fantastic Four needs to be very linear, very, very Kirby-esque. I mean, they've already blown it with the Eternals, but who would I get to direct the Fantastic Four? Matthew Vaughn. He's been wanting to do a superhero movie for a long time, but I think he's over in Millar World now. Matthew effing Vaughn. Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright would probably be great at directing a Fantastic Four. They already chased him off for Ant-Man, and Ant-Man was okay. It was pretty good. If Edgar Wright had done it, it would have been fucking good. It would have been good. We'll see. I'm trying to think of somebody else who would be a good director. There's not too many great directors out there anymore. But yeah, Matthew Vaughn. I would stick with Matthew Vaughn. Yeah. Joss Whedon. Yeah, I wish I could get behind that. There would have been a time I would have been very excited about that. You know what? Sam Raimi. I'd have Sam Raimi direct the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. I would just have him mass direct all the movies. That's my choice. The comic book stuff is so relevant to the worldwide attitudes on many issues way beyond comics. This has been one of your best streams yet. Whoa, JPRPH1, thank you. $4.99. I appreciate that. Wow. Eric K for $5. Mrs. Nerdrotic reminds you that you're wrong even when you're right. Yes, but then she's right and I'm wrong. So I just lose every time. Bilby Formula. Am I saying that? It's BLBY Formula for £5. What do you think about a collab with It's a Gundam? I don't think It's a Gundam would collab with me, right? Would It's a Gundam not go on Nick Rekieta? I'll collab with anybody. With most anybody. I want to preface that if you've made 75 videos about, say, my friend Jeremy, chances are I'm not going to collab with you. I'll still have a conversation with you behind the scenes, but nah. But most everybody I will. I'll talk to anybody. I'm one of those optimistic fools that thinks I can find common ground with most anybody, even probably some of the most loathed people on this platform. I'm not saying it'll necessarily work, but I'd like to believe that. Larry for $2. What showrunners did Marvel fire? Best wishes, Gary. I just did the article. Thank you, Larry. Zabuski and what was their names again? The showrunner for Hellstrom and the showrunner for The Punisher, who was still under contract. But it's going to be the first of many. That was the most important takeaway from that article, and that's why John F. Trent wrote it. Hail, is it John F. Trent? Yeah, yes. Hail, John F. Trent. By the way, you can see my Westworld reviews in Bounding Into Comics now. He's starting to post those in Bounding Into Comics. So thanks, John. Last week I did it with Doomcock, and it was good. Well, I mean, the movie sucked. The show sucked, but the review was, I thought, I had fun doing it. I don't know if it was good or not. That's up to you guys. When are you moving to the center of the earth? Says Trooper Bear FN2525. I will not be moving in with Doomcock. He is very, very, he's a loner, Dottie. He's a rebel. When will I be moving to New Mexico or Texas? Next year. My son has to go to 1 year here at the Catholic school that he got into. After that, we're bouncing. I don't want to be here for round 2 of the thing that shall not be named. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Dr. Crow for $2. Any good Zatanna books? Oh my God, there is good Zatanna books. Dr. Crow in 2006, in the mid-aughts, Dr. Crow, Paul Dini did a 16, 17 issue run that was canceled by Dan Didio to do New 52. It is a fantastic run of comic books. It is brilliant. So just look for Paul Dini's Zatanna. Samuel Shafik for 50 Canadian dollars. Nobody mentions that the plot for Westworld is stolen from the film The 13th Floor, itself a remake, where a company creates a realistic fantasy world set in the 1930s and its creator, like Ford in World War II, it is killed in it. I've seen that movie. Yeah, there are similarities. I think a lot of people don't say that because Westworld's based on a much older movie. But did they borrow elements from 13th Floor? Probably. But it's not enough to make a stink about. It's not as bad as Alex Kurtzman. Alex Kurtzman like blatantly ripping off Mass Effect. Alex Kurtzman ripped off Shutterstock. An AI in an artificial intelligence inside the simulation. Vincent D'Onofrio becomes aware that his world is fake and escapes into the real world via someone else's body connected to a machine. Oh, I've seen it, Samuel. I've seen it. Sound familiar? I leave it up to you to guess how it ends. I've seen it. I like Vincent D'Onofrio, and it's good. It depends on how Westworld ends. Now, if it ends as a big simulation, then yeah, it's a total freaking ripoff. It's also borrowed from Blade Runner. Westworld started out amazingly original, though. I'm going to do a video on I got a video coming out about Westworld. I got one coming out probably tomorrow. It's going to be a short one, but it's just going to tell you kind of like, I don't know, go over the fall of what could have been the next Game of Thrones. I mean, it was that good. It was this full, fun, riveting TV show that's just turned into woke drivel. It's just bad. I don't even know how many times I got to say it's bad. It's boring. It's the worst part. It's not even, it's more boring than it is woke. It's just typical shit now. It's got, women with no personality and no facial expression kicking a lot of ass. How'd she survive the car blowing up? Come on. Her husband doesn't survive, but she survives because she's a robot? IK 1906, $5. Kingdom Come and Marvels are great, but to avoid Mark Waid, I pass on Kingdom Come and I go for Alex Ross's Justice. That's a better one. That's actually a better one. You're right. Just go to Justice. You don't need to go to Kingdom Come anymore. God, that breaks my heart to say that, though. F you, Mark Waid. F you. I want it. You know what? Irredeemable was a good story, but I can't recommend it to anybody because you're an a-hole, dude. I found a gem on Hulu called Future Man. Oh, I know about Future Man. I'm recommending it to you, Zelkor, for $10. It's science fiction and it's really funny. I'm 6 episodes in and it's not woke at all, but it gets woke, brother. It gets woke. Yeah, Future Man started out great. It actually started out great. My old co-host couldn't stop talking about it and actually was a good fucking show. And then it got into the typical Nazis and shit like that. You know what? Kind of like Westworld, where Maeve, for no reason at all, beats up an entire battalion of Nazis. Because the Nazis are coming, everybody. Remember, in 2016, we voted in the Orange Man, and the Nazis were supposed to come, and then they didn't come. And then it made everybody crazy because they're like, we wanted the Nazis to come because then that would have made us right. You hear how insane that is? So instead, we're going to try to show you every way that there possibly could be some Yahtzees out there, except they're not coming. They never were. You're crazy people. I'm so sick of it. And now during a real fucking serious issue, I can't believe the media anymore because you ran with so many fucking lies. You're morons. And now it's dangerous. Now, see, this is what we've been talking about. And you know who played into that? Fucking the BBC, fucking Marvel Comics, DC, TV, everybody played into that shit. You're fucking lunatics. And now real people are having real problems. They don't know how to pay their fucking bills. And some asshat in his fucking $1 million little short motherfucker, Patton Oswalt. Fuck you, you fat fucking hobbit. Shaming people because they want to go to fucking work. Talking about Fuddruckers. Dude, for one, skip Fuddruckers a couple times, you little fat shit. And you know, fuck you, man. I know everything about your life when you were here in San Francisco. You don't want me to start spouting some of that shit, you asshole. So fuck Patton Oswalt, by the way. You know, people want to protest, that they have every right to do that. If you want, you know what? They have every right to fucking do it. Makes me mad. Sorry, I get mad. Not often you find a person that echoes my thoughts, says Mike L. Thank you. Australian 350. You still need to practice. You still need to practice common sense. You still need to be safe. There's hotspots out there. Not saying this thing is fake at all. Real people have been affected on both sides, but we need to start thinking about the future. Think about the future, Jack. Think about the future, you know, and yeah, we've got something. Yeah. My wife's salon's been closed for over a month. And you know what? We are in such a fucking fantastic country. Yeah, we are. That we could survive a month of this shit. That's pretty amazing. And you know what? We've been mostly peaceful. This has been a very good experiment and a very bad one in a lot of ways. But it's been mostly peaceful, which shows we are still a very civilized country. Are we perfect? No. But I'd love to see, you know what? You know, it'd be great from a celebrity, besides just shutting the fuck up. I forgot his name. The guy who's doing the good news stuff. That's cool. Write a gratitude list and put it on Twitter every day. Tell everybody how grateful you are that you have $1 million mansion and you're going to be just fine no matter what happens. And that's great. I'm not begrudging you for it. Your talent earned it. Wonderful. Shaming people who want to go back to work, though, F you. Now, does this mean go out and start licking poles and toilet seats like some dumbasses are? No. This is why I love this channel. You're genuine. Thank you, Keaton Smith. I try. I'm not perfect. For £2. Dragon Volodar X for $2. A friend saw Star Trek Discovery for free. Liked it. What can I do? Well, obviously never talk to that person again. Just kidding. Yeah, there are people who like it. Did your friend never watch Star Trek before? Did he or she like it? Yeah, some people like it. Did they watch all of it? He says he watched it for free. What can I do? You can watch it if you want to waste your time. But Star Trek Discovery is objectively bad. There's no way. I mean, you could say you like it because you like Star Trek. I'll accept that all day long. But it's objectively bad. Tell them to watch my Star Trek Picard video when it comes out sometime in a month. I don't know. Whoever wanted to get rid of, I read this one before. Thank you. Thank you again, Trooper Bear FN525. Zero Duality. Thank you again for the Canadian $2. JPR page 1. I have caught up. Philip Manhart for $5. Only combo shops here now. They sell comics, collectibles, D&D, 40K, card games, Magic, board games, etc. And host games may have bars now as well. Yes, as a matter of fact, I was thinking about that. I wanted to be kind of like a Cheers because I don't drink, but I could have a bar. I've never been a big alcoholic. I like drugs. I was a big fan of drugs. Booze, nah. Pot, nah. But a friend of mine has, we're friendly, owns the Millennium Fandom Bar in Las Vegas. And it is basically, it's instead of a sports bar, it's a nerd bar. He doesn't sell stuff, but that would be a good idea. That would be a really good idea. I would do coffee. My shop's going to be vinyl, vintage toys, comic books, and there'll be a barber chair in there. You'll be able to get your hair cut. That's right. Woke comic pros dismiss Richard Meyer at their own peril. I'm going to read this again. He'll grow a successful small comic brand in a few years and they'll be unemployed. Super Sport, he's already doing it. He's well on his way. He's proven that he wasn't a one-hit wonder. You know what? Things go through peaks and valleys as far as comic sales go, but he's still selling comics. And he's hiring people right now. I can't think of too many people who are hiring. So good for him. And he's the one who inspired me to give $1,000 to a comic shop. He did it first. I emailed him and said, hey, I don't want to steal your thunder. Why don't I donate $1,000 so you can do it? You can pick a shop. And he said, why don't you do it on your channel? I said, okay. But I ran it through him first because I got the idea from him. And we are going to announce a winner later today. Releasing felons from prison when there's no jobs and no food. This can only go well, says Wild Rose for $5 Canadian. If it's prisoners who are non-violent, who are a couple months away from being released, sure, no problem. If they're in there for some stupid weed charge or petty theft, and they just have a history of petty theft and nonviolent, sure, fine. As a person who was in a maximum security prison for a long period of time, a year, I went for 3, but I spent a year in a max level 4 murderers, bad people. Hell no. Hell effing no. There's a lot of problems with prisons. There's a lot of things wrong that I don't have an answer for. We could talk about the fact that there's a disproportionate amount of black men in prison. That's a real fucking problem. That being said, I didn't meet anybody who was innocent in there. Sure there was, but there's a reason they're in a max behind a wall with people with guns. And I don't want to get into it too much, but yeah, there's a reason we have these things. Do they need to decriminalize drugs? Sure, we can have that conversation someday. There's always an exception. And as far as Joaquin Phoenix talking about they can't practice hygiene, yes, they do. Oh my God, they're some of the cleanest people around. Yeah, there's an outlier out there who won't shower, but people, think about it. People they have a lot of time in their hands. They clean. They're very, some people are immaculate. Some people freaking iron their jeans. They iron their jeans. Never got into that, but That's a story for another day. Sorry to go on that little rant. But it's really freaking, it's actors being actors. Getting caught up. There it is. Rebecca Gold. Speaking of Rebecca Gold, have a coffee on me, mate. Thanks for all you do. Thank you. And I can't wait till we get that Doctor Who fan film going. I think we can, I think that'll be fun. It'll be fun, if anything. Remember the Queen song, Sheer Fucking Hubris? It says peppermint oil capsule, 2 pounds. Yes, of course. You're going to hear that a lot in my video. Cesario JPN for $5. I know a way to cut costs like Kickstarter. Boot and replace the danger-haired female that heads the comics division. Gatekeeper mentality there. Yes, they should hire comics division to run their comics division. Get rid of the danger-haired female and hire comics division to run their comics division. They would make, you know what? If they were smart, if they actually wanted to make money, if they were about money, I would reach out to somebody in Comicsgate right now who just finished a campaign and go, bring one over here. Bring one over here. Let's see how we do. JHand04 for $2.50. Pride will not suffer them to jump to the indies. You're right. You're right. And Pride will not, Kickstarter would rather go out of business than do business with what they see as Yahtzees. It's the same shit that we're all dealing with. I don't know how I became a Yahtzee. That's or Ethan. Richard's haircut. I mean, that's Richard. No, but Richard's cool, man. Come on, these guys are idiots. And, you know, for the people who knew me prior to YouTubing, when I sold comic books for 10 years here, they're out there. They know me. Yes, they're calling me a Yahtzee. KCBS is a member at the Gandalf level. Welcome, Casey. I appreciate it. Sci-Fi Freak for $5. What do you think of the Key of Time saga with Tom Baker? I think it's fucking awesome. I have it right in my closet and I want to watch it right now. I think it's fucking brilliant. It's genius. Carl's Rants and Reviews for $2. Hail, Gary. Thanks for brightening up my days. If you think about it, it was one of the first, The Prisoner was an overarching story, but I'm thinking about in mainstream, was that one of the first shows to have a season-long arc? Maybe. I don't know. Never thought about it. You are welcome, Carl's Rants and Reviews. You brighten my day as well. Lady Gravemaster for $2. Silence equals submission. Just because people are too busy working to get on Twitter to complain or start a YouTube channel doesn't mean they love what Hollywood is peddling. Ped is a very key word there. Peddling. That's why the industry is dying. Lack of real world experience. Exactly. When you hear people say, this can't be said enough. Asking for good customer service is an alt-right dog whistle. Might be the single dumbest tweet of all time. Making a partisan issue out of, I don't know, victimizing children. Dumbest take of all time. There's a lot of right side of history. Remember when you heard that earlier? I want to be on the right side of history. How about being on the right side of the present in the here and now? Phil G for $2. Thank you very much. Mr. Lang, dog. I'm also still working and never chatted before, but I appreciate what you do. Mr. Lang, dog, $25. Thank you. He's got Spock in there. Live long and prosper, brother. I appreciate you. And I hope let me entertain you. Hopefully I am by being kind of yelling at clouds today. Sorry. I got fired up. It's Az's fault. I got fired up watching his video. Ashley Harmon. Hi, Ashley. How are you? How are you, Ashley? For $10. Hail, Gary. Had to go get myself a just over had to go get myself a job, just over broke. It's been awesome to watch you and all of the other YouTubers. I admire what you do. You've been so generous yourself. Have a great day. Ashley, you have a great day. Thank you. You are generous. Thank you for the $10. Had to go get I'm glad you got yourself a job. I wish you all the success in it. I'm looking forward to everybody returning to work very soon. And I hope those of you who are furloughed get your jobs back. I hope if those of you who lost jobs, you have my deepest sympathies, and I hope you find jobs as soon as possible. In the meantime, let me try to take your mind off it for a little while by yelling at dumbasses. So, do you think the movie industry is going to die? Mike L for $2. Fundamentally change, not die. Fundamentally change. It just got sped up. I still think it's going to last. We still need movie theaters. We're in a transition period to streaming full time. That's another few years. But I think what was 7 years is now 5 years. I think 2 years just got shaved off of everything. I think a lot of shows are going to get canceled outright that were well into production because they just can't afford it. Lord of the Rings. I see Lord of the Rings. I don't know if that show's going to happen now. I don't know. Witcher will happen. Witcher is that's the hit. Witcher to me was the biggest hit of 2019. I could be wrong. Vakusin Zavison. Wow, that's a cool name. For 250 something there. This is $2. What is next to destroy? Orville, Expanse, Lord of the Rings. Hail, Lord of the Rings. Vukasin, Lord of the Rings. They're coming after it. Trust me. Orville is probably going to get delayed, folks. Expanse, probably delayed. That's just my guess, because I don't think they finished filming either one. So a lot of stuff is not going to come. I mean, it's going to be a big blank spot, which a lot of independent, if you're creating a comic book, if you're doing a web show, now's your time. Do whatever you have to do. This is it, because we're going to have a little dead spot in entertainment and people are going to be hungry for it. Honestly, live streaming is fulfilling a lot of people's needs. So for those we have our critics, believe it or not, I have critics. I know, who would criticize me? But one of the criticisms of the people who identify with the hashtag the Phantom Menace, and I've said it before, is, well, what do? You just bitch about stuff. You just complain. You don't offer any solutions. Here's the solution right here. I mean, I'm not going to talk about the culture war forever. I like a lot of things. I just sent out an email to a friend of mine out there. Maybe we're going to start some Song of Ice and Fire stuff. I got Doctor Who reviews to do. I can review television forever. I'm not going to complain about this stuff forever. But this is the solution. This is the entertainment. Talking about the entertainment became the entertainment. As a matter of fact, I would rather watch a live stream about the MCU than probably most of the MCU that we have coming up right now. I'd rather watch EVS talk about it, or Tom at Midnight's Edge, or Doomcock, or Jeremy. Hey man, hope all is well. How's the wife doing since the salon has been closed? I had to shut down my salon and it sucks. Keep up the good work. Avery Clark, $5. She's Mrs. Neurotic. Melissa's amazing. She's actually like an amazing person. I don't have half the drive she has. She is holding up well, but it's getting to her. She wants to work. She loves her clients. She loves her job. She loves her business, and she loves her employees. And we want to keep these employees. And if the longer they keep us shut down, the more that puts employees in jeopardy. She'll be fine, I think. She's got her client base, but as far as the people she employs, I say we, it's her. She employs like 10 people, plus a rent and everything. Yeah, we need to start thinking about that. We need to start. Yeah, you have to look at life like an adult. And sometimes that's making very, very tough decisions. I think it's time to make one. And you know what? I don't think it's going to be up to the governors or anything. I think people are just going to start going. There's not much you can do about it if everybody starts going. Good luck, Newsom. It sucks for me. I'm sorry. I don't like, I'm in California. It's my choice. I understand that. I'm going to get the fuck out of here as soon as I can. I have no control over my government. It's a one-party system here, and they're fucking morons. You know, I wouldn't mind if it was mixed up a little bit. And there's a lot of great people in California, and it's not all a bunch of wackos like everybody thinks it is. Actually, the vast majority is like the rest of the country. It's just the cities, LA, San Francisco. San Diego's pretty normal place. So, yeah. Hail, Gary, do you ever have trouble watching older movies and TV shows with strong female leads without thinking about the woke culture we have now? When I watch something older with a strong female, I can't help but think about that now. Kyle Gardner, thank you for the $50. Wow, $50. I would have to say I think about it, but I just remember it fondly. I'm like, wow, look at how complex this character is, and she's not smirking at me, and she cries once in a while, and she actually treats a guy with respect for like 30 seconds. Yeah, long gone are those days, and it's not doing any women any good right now, and it's the vast majority of this is men doing this, and they're trying hard, and basically it's the hacks trying to keep their jobs, and they're willing to do anything. Alex Kurtzman is an unbelievable scab, by the way, scab writer. Hack. He's terrible. Him and Akiva Goldsmith. I don't know how they keep getting work. Go look at Alex Kurtzman's IMDb and look at Akiva Goldsman's IMDb and tell me, how do they fucking get work? You want to talk about giving up a spot. Be the change you want to be, guys. Peppermint oil for £2. Chat, Steed and Peel can save you from Doctor Who. Heartbreak. I will check it out. Thank you, Peppermint oil capsule for £2. Joker's Midnight Show for $1.50 Canadian, or $1.50 Canadian pesos. Thank you, Joker Midnight Show. I appreciate it. The Grand Inquisitor is here. Getting the beer bug passive as fuck, bottom energy, everyone's doing it, getting roan up, aggro as fuck, Dragon Ball vibes. You definitely lift. Hail, Gary. Keep up the good work. Long live the fandom menace. Fuck yeah, Grand Inquisitor. Goddamn straight. Yeah, little people are getting worked up. There was a lot of drama on Twitter over the last 4 days, 5 days between people I like and people I don't know, and a couple people I don't like. Yeah, that's why I don't go on Twitter. But listen, if you get, sometimes it's, yeah, I'll admit, I'll break out the popcorn. Oh yeah, I'll watch that stuff, but it doesn't do any good. It doesn't do any good to engage that stuff. I don't know how many times I could say it, but people like to engage in it. That's fine. If they like it, I can't judge them for it. It doesn't make me better or anything. I just don't, I just don't want to, I don't have the time for that. I have too much ADHD. I can't get in an argument, or I will get in that argument all day and I won't get anything done. So I'm not saying I'm like this holier than thou person. I'm just saying I would descend into it like worse than anybody. And it would not be good for me. And then I'd have to call my sponsor and write a gratitude list and apologize to people on Twitter. And I don't want to get in that pot. Fuck it. Flicks by Cody for $5. Hi, I like you. Here is some money. Straight to the point. Well, Flicks by Cody, I like too. Have you ever seen a grown man naked? Big Homer Bob for $5. I am a healthcare worker. Thank you for all the content. It keeps my mind off work. Oh, well, Big Homer Bob, thank you for what you do. We appreciate you, especially with all the stuff going on right now. You must be working your tail off. And hopefully you get a nice big vacation very soon. All state quarantines are executive orders and not laws. Executive orders can only apply to those working in government. Citizens arrested / fined for executive orders will have cases thrown out and have good lawsuits, says Junglist for $10. So they only apply to certain people. Okay. I think it's good that we're still, listen, it's good that there's a 4-way stop in Wyoming that somebody will stop their car at without a cop in sight. And I'm talking about a specific one because I did that on my very first road trip when I was a youngster. And I saw a four-way stop in the middle of nowhere. And I stopped. And I went, why did I stop? I can tell there is no cops around. Why did I stop? And that's when it hit me. Because I was young. I'm like, oh, we live in a really polite society. Like we live in this amazing polite society where I'll stop at a stop sign and it's habit, but I mean, I did it. And the fact that I did that proves that we are mostly good, that we are mostly polite. We're not perfect. There's a lot of injustices. I know, but it really helps to focus on the positive some of the times. Doesn't mean you don't work on the negative though. And yeah, I think we've done that. I think it's been weeks. I think there's certain places where you probably need to remain locked down. And I think there's certain places you probably can let people go to work. It's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I'm an idiot. So there you go. Triangle, man, 2K6 for $4.99. What is your film of the limited year so far? What's my favorite film of the, I haven't seen anything. Birds of Prey. No, just kidding. 1917. 1917. I saw 1917 after Christmas, so that was technically this year. Oh, and Ford versus Ferrari. It's kind of a tie. Those were two great movies. Great movies. Christian Bale is an international treasure. Sam Mendes can really be one of the best directors of all time when he wants to be, except when he's doing a Bond film. Two great movies that I would own, absolutely own. And 1917 has to be seen in a theater. Is it as good as Saving Private Ryan? I don't know. I saw Saving Private Ryan with a bunch of World War II vets in the theater because we were doing a grand opening of a theater, and they were bawling when they came out. Bawling. And I'm like, oh, damn. So, I don't know. Saving Private Ryan's pretty good. Probably Spielberg's last good film. Gary, do you do your Chavez reading accent, please? Zero duality? Okay, hang on. Let me pull up a page of America Chavez. And I'll read it. I need to drink my water though. I got it. People might consider this a little racist. Sorry. I'm sorry. I was born and raised in San Diego, California. I freaking love Mexican food, and I have been brought up close to the border. I know exactly what it's like to be in a state where you have a lot of immigration and a lot of immigrant workers. A couple of my friends in school were Salvador Ramirez was my very first friend in school. I am aware of their plight, very sympathetic to it in some aspects. But this is my America Chavez accent. Don't judge me too harshly. A. Holmes. Hang on. There we go. We're going to read page 1, probably. Let's go to page 1. I'll pull it up so you can see it. Just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. America Chavez. There we go. There we go. It's kind of off to the side there, sorry, but I think you should be able to see it. Now, the art isn't like terrible. It's not great, though. What the hell? There we go. Now, can you see that? Or do I need to move it over? Oh, that's way... Hang on. It was delayed. Now, I'm going to see if you can see that. You can kind of see it, but let's do this. That's better. We could keep it where we still see the chat. Does that work? That works. Okay. Oh, stop. Okay. We asked 100 people, what is America to you? Okay. Bare fists, stars, and hearts. Mega babe, my best one. Better than the Cure. Like better than the Cure and more. America's my sis from another miss. Right this way, Miss Hardy. America, I don't know her. In Midgard speak, she's a bad mama jamma. She's the Kapu. I never. She's our future. And then Storm says, America is hope. America is hope. And then we have America come up. There's a, oh my God, turn the page. Comixology, the future of comics, everybody. I'm still waiting for the page to turn. There we go. America's got you. See, I missed the first page. There we go. Where'd it go? Oh, I can read this opening part right here. America Chavez is done with the hero scene. She did the Team Brigade thing. She basically was the Young Avengers and the Ultimates. They're cool, but saving the world every weekend is starting to get old. Time to punch out. But she can't go home again. She left the utopian parallel where she was a little girl. By the way, she's from a utopian parallel with two mothers. After her moms died, saving the entire multiverse. America's been on her own ever since, doing what she does, doing her best to be a hero like them. And lately, her friends all seem to have problems of their own. What with Loki seemingly being a full-on bad guy again, and bestie Kate Bishop, aka the real Hawkeye, now doing her own thing out in the West Coast. So where does a super strong queer brown girl who can punch star-shaped holes between dimensions go to get her free kicks? Cue up the music and lace up the boots. America's going to college. All right. So I got to be able to read this, so I got to blow it up a little bit. Sorry. Blast it, Mon Danvers. Get ready to go binary. I'll be skyward as soon as I get to this little kid and her family. Hey, that's a tight grip. And a strong heartbeat. I've got you. We're almost there. Ma'am. There it goes. Chavez, we need you. This is Carl Danvers, by the way. Chavez, we need you. Coming, Danvers. What did she just say to Mom? This is the best part right here. Hit her with a blast in the chest, but she's stable. I hit her with a blast in the chest, but she's stable. It came up on the scans as pure white energy. Pure white energy, huh? So let me give her a little of a brown feast. My God, there's like no talking in this. The whole planet is like healing itself. You don't know. I'm only the leader of the Ultimates. America. My name is America Chavez. The Ultimates? Trust me. Nothing's coming back after that punch. And then she says, add me to Beam Chat. Evinia, America. I will follow you, Bob. I promise. Yeah. So look at this. This is my favorite part right here. I probably lost half the viewers, but like, yeah, this is right here. Look at that Carol Danvers shot. Look at that dude. You wonder why comic sales went the way they did. Look at you getting soft, Adams, right? Everyone's alive. The evil stepmother got smashed. Time to bounce. Go to college. There. That was terrible. It's fucking awful. Yeah, it's bad. Don't ever watch that fucking, don't read that book at all. Okay. Zero Duality for $2 Canadian. Gary, yeah, so I'm not, fans are gods of this world. They are. Pasadena MGTOW for $5, and they will be treated with respect, or they'll make their own shit, or they'll go their own way. It doesn't matter. Sean Connery versus Applesauce, aka Blue Dragon Balls for 20 Danish krona. The Force is, I can't say that. Is it true? It's true. Just Google it. I can't say that, but we'll just say the MCU. The Force is the MCU. JPRPH1 for $1.99. Yep, gone forever. Yes, a lot of fans are absolutely fucking gone. They're gone. Out. Joseph Maroney, welcome to the Geloja level. Casey Osowski for $5. Doctor Who, been there, done that, never again. How many people are going to say that? You can't put a number on that. Sam Raimi for the Fantastic Four, 100%. There's no other choice. He would be the best choice. He's the best choice for every Marvel movie because he won't politicize it. He's a fucking wizard with the camera. And unless you can talk the Coen brothers into doing a superhero film, which I think that would be very cool, Sam Raimi's your best bet. But yes, if you could talk the Coen brothers into doing a superhero movie, they would be just as good. So, Gary, some of your Asian viewers can't super chat and only at you, so they've been asked to please keep an eye out for them on the regular chat. Lady Gravemaster, I always keep an eye out for the chat, but I have to prioritize that. I will keep an eye out for it though. I don't know why they can't. That sucks, but that's fine. I'll try to keep an eye on it. But I mean, I'll do my best. I will do my very best. But it is, Lady Greymaster, I can show you how fast the chat goes. I see the $400 super chat though. That's amazing. I'll get to that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But let's say I do this. All right, let's do this. Let me show you something. I don't know if it'll work. Now, let's see if that works. Hang on. Yeah, we can't do it right now. But I was going to show you how fast the chat goes. It goes freaking fast. Let's see if it'll work now. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Nope, that's Brian. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That's pretty slow now. Sometimes it's going like that, and it's tough to keep up, but I will do my very best. All right, here we go. Thank you, Lady Gravemaster.
I get where you're coming from. I mean, they can't be customers at your store because you can't.
One-man show, ladies and gentlemen. One-man show. I apologize for getting sidetracked there. Salsa, Sharko01 for $2. We'd welcome you in Arizona. Thank you. I like Arizona. I do. I like Scottsdale. I like it a lot. Get over here. Redline Fiction for £5. Gary, a long time watcher lurker here. Call me a cynic, but I think that the you-know-what will kill off the wokeness. I don't think it'll kill off the wokeness. It's an ideology with deep roots and deeper pockets. Redline fiction, I'm not going to argue with you. It's just that the entertainment won't last then. It'll be specialized. It'll be niche. It'll be only made for them. And something else will rise out of it then. You know what, Redline? You're not wrong. I am telling you, end the woke era or die. And you know what? Yeah, the thing is, Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, they exist to make lots of money. You know, not your Knives Out. That shit will always be out there, and that's fine. But you know what? You want big franchises? You want nerddom to continue? You need to get the wokeness out, or it won't. And I'm talking specifically about sci-fi movies, movies with wizards, dark fantasy, superhero films, all that shit. It goes away if it doesn't start playing to everybody. And Hollywood won't survive. They can't survive with half the audience. How many things can survive with half their audience? The answer is 0. Some nobody for $2. Get this my fire. Get my fire, my dude. Yes. Get this fire, my dude. I can talk. Some nobody. Thank you very much. I need a drink. The Canadian. It's the Canadian. For $10. Truth to power, brother. Damn fucking straight. #1 Marvel fan for $400. Jesus Christ. Hail, Gary. Preach, my buddy. Pains me watching these SJW assholes talk smack about you and others, and 99% of them don't know what the fuck is going on, just following others. And that's what a lot of it is. They don't research things before giving opinions. Not at all. They just pile on. That's what Patton Oswalt did. I agree with Jeremy in the quartering. He just fucking followed and piled on. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about with people protesting and work and shit. And the same thing happens with us. They see a video title. They see a thumbnail. They hear something. And, you know, they don't have to watch my video. They can have opinions. I don't give a shit. Like I said, it doesn't bother me. I mean, they're wasting their time. But that one person who keeps adding me shit that another YouTuber said about the Phantom Menace like 6 months ago in a private message, the only thing that tells me is you are very unstable, because a healthy adult would not post private DMs. And that's shit my 14-year-old would not do. Dish on Oswald, you got to give us something. Kenobi for $2. I would actually get in a lot of trouble if I did. Let's just say a lot of people helped that guy out when he didn't have a pot to fucking piss in San Francisco, and he big timed every single one of them. Doesn't give him the fucking time of day, which is fine. You know, they don't feel like they're owed a career. They just wanted to say hi and be friends. That it's not like a career thing. Okay. We were friends. We don't expect anything in return. We just want you to say hi once in a while, and they don't. That's fine. Now, you know, a lot of times business gets in the way, and well, that shit can happen. It can happen. If one person is doing all the work and the other person isn't. Wouldn't you rather be a super Yahtzee? That's worth a lot of points and drives woke people mad. Charles W. Jensen for $5. You jest, but these assholes are creating what they hate, and it's almost like they want it to exist. Think about the mentality. It's like, I'm going to call this guy a Yahtzee, and I really hope he is one. So I can be right on Twitter. This isn't healthy. It's just not. Richard was a Marine, so I could say his hair was cut just running normal. Mika Robinson for $5. I grew up I'm not a Marine, but I grew up outside of Camp Pendleton. I've seen a high and tight. They didn't look like that, but Richard's fine. He's a cheapo. Next time, Mrs. Nerdrotic can cut his hair. Christy Ricardo for $2. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. DCG for $2.79 Canadian. How much takeout have you had in the pandemic? Somebody's asked me that before. Why do you ask? Not much, actually. Not much. That's the second time somebody's asked. I haven't gained a pound. I haven't, I got takeout yesterday. I think 4 times. 4 times in 6 weeks. But I bought a bunch of food. Once the NBA canceled, I went, oh shit, this is serious. And I went on Amazon and I couldn't get any of the healthy, the Tim Pool fucking survival food shit. I looked at that. I'm like, I went and bought $300 worth of ramen and it still got it. I still got plenty left. It came in this giant case. I'm fine. As long as I can boil some water, I'm good. Don't need to go out. And you know what? I don't know if I can give you too much personal information. I'm not a foodie. I'm not a food snob. Food is sustenance to me. So I don't like, oh, let's go to this. I like a nice restaurant and everything, but I don't have a favorite food. There's foods I don't like, but it's just sustenance. I don't think about it like ever. Like I'll eat I try not to eat too much ramen because it's bad when you're 50, but yeah, I'll just eat, a hot dog. I'm a very simple man. Very, very simple. Thoughts on the One Punch Man live action movie? I don't know much about it. I know One Punch Man. Bogue, thank you for the $20. And by the way, once again, #1 Marvel fan, $400. Thank you. I appreciate you. And you and a couple other guys are going to get highlighted in a video very, very soon. As far as the One Punch Man, as long as they're true to the canon and they respect the source material, I am fine with it. But they'll probably make it One Punch Woman. So for $25, Kate H., I have been fortunate enough to work from home and you've entertained me for hours over the last few weeks. Coffee and donuts for the family on me. Kate, thank you so much. I'm glad I've entertained some people. Sometimes I'm not sure, guys. Wolf Monkey for £5. Is it Discovery's fault that McFarlane stopped producing Star Trek toys? Star Trek toys bring back Playmates. Yes, it is. It is actually Star Trek Discovery's fault that McFarlane stopped producing Star Trek toys, and Playmates is, I don't know if they're around or not, but nobody wants to produce Star Trek toys. There's no desire to produce Star Trek toys. As a matter of fact, let me give you some bad news if you're a Star Trek fan. If it pops up. There it is. All right, so Star Wars is bigger than Star Trek. Star Wars is more popular than Star Trek. Star Wars will always be bigger and more popular than Star Trek. If Star Wars isn't doing well, think about how bad Star Trek is doing. Diamond Toys says there's no demand for Disney Star Wars characters. So Diamond Toys used to have the Star Trek account prior to McFarlane. And if there's no demand for Star Wars toys, what do you think the demand is for Star Trek toys? 0. Absolute 0. Nobody wants to make them. They've had 3 seasons of television come out. Star Trek Discovery 1 and 2, Star Trek Picard. The only thing being produced is Big Chief is doing a horrible Picard based on TNG. And they are doing, that's it. Nobody else is doing anything. It's fucked. It's fucked. And it just got worse. This is before all this stuff was, the beer bugs started happening, folks. So Star Trek is toast, and it very well could get canceled. Alex Kurtzman could be let go. We are now in that area of emergency that they could release him from his contract and have every right to do so. Hail, Gary. I have no idea for a new sci-fi comic Hail, Gary, I have a new idea for a sci-fi comic. Who would I speak to get it started? Star Weaver for $5. I would check out some of the crowdfunding guys. I would go follow some of the channels starting on Indiegogo, some of the Comicsgate guys, and see if you like what you see. And hit them up for information. They can tell you how to, but to get started, just have a story. You write a comic book script, kind of like you write a TV script. It's very similar. If you need to find an artist, that's tough. You need to find somebody you trust. Take your time, vet them. Insert name here for $5. Hey, Gary, my number one hero has always been Green Lantern. I'm so curious. Did you read Grant Morrison's run? What did you think? I thought it was good. Grant Morrison. Here, I'm going to show everybody what he's talking about. Hang on. I need a producer. Intergalactic. That's right. Liam Sharp. I was like, who is the artist on that? I can't remember. This was right before I bailed out. I thought it was good. Not great. Grant Morrison's hit and miss with me. I think he's mostly really good, but damn it. But it's this cover right here. Right there. You can see it. Kind of. Yeah, right there. It's pretty good. I was a big fan of Rebirth. And hang on a second. Now I'm lost. But Green Lantern wasn't my go-to. Actually, the last book I was getting was Hal Jordan because Ethan was off on it. And that was the last Green Lantern I purchased for a long, long time. I think studios need to stop making woke movies and hiring off gender or color, but off talent only. Ideas like Rey from Star Wars being the lead in Sherlock Holmes 3, LOL. What? Ideas like Rey from Star Wars being the lead in Sherlock Holmes 3, LOL, says number one Marvel fan for $15. They need to just merit. You can be diverse and inclusive all you want. Expanse does it all the time. You need good writers. Everything starts with good writing. It starts and ends with good writing. Alex Kurtzman's not a good writer. I saw Josiah did a video today about Sherlock Holmes and Watson being gay. I mean, like, why not? Nobody will watch it. I mean, nobody cares. Not everything is gay, folks. Okay, I love my gay friends. I do. It is whatever 10% of the population, 7% of the population. If you want to make a Sherlock Holmes for them, great. I'm probably not going to watch it because I'm tired of Sherlock Holmes anyway. I don't care, and I don't need it to be that. And a gay person is more than just who they have sex with. I am more like, I don't announce it. They're individuals, and Hollywood keeps propping them up as purse puppies, as Zach calls it. And that's what I have a problem with. And it's just like, okay, let's make everything gay now. Make it all gay. Gender swap everything. Make it all gay. Let's just get it over with, please, so we can get back to just making good stories. Sorry, I had to back off Patreon support because the board. I joined Patreon just to see season 2 watch party for Counterpart. Do you think Counterpart will? That's okay, JPRPH1. It's okay. Come for $9.99. Do you think Counterpart has come true in real life? LOL. Maybe, kind of. Maybe. Shinobi Kenobi for $5. Come on, Gary. Give us one Patton Oswalt story. Just one. I can't. Let me get permission. I'll see if I can get permission. Chapter Master Rosarius for 10 New Zealand dollars. Hey, Nerdrotic, don't know if you saw my last super chat about 40K, but it's heading I probably didn't, but I'll go back and I'll go check. It probably bounced on me. It's heading 40K, but it's heading for the jugular as well. Major writers saying the canon doesn't exist and retconning fan favorite characters. Well, then they're in for trouble. Then they're in for major trouble. Let me go see if yeah, I missed it. Sorry about that. Let me go back up. Chapter. I don't see. I saw one in 40K earlier, but I didn't think it was you. Sorry, folks. It's this new setup. It sucks. I don't see it, buddy. I'll check again before we go. Okay? I'll check again before we go. We will be going here in a little bit. I am sorry if I missed that, though. Yeah, I don't want 40K getting ruined. I know the 40K fans are crazy about their stuff. Crazy. I don't want anything getting ruined. Are you still taking applications for a producer? Lady Gravemaster for $2? Yes, I am. Email me and big caps, and you got to keep emailing me. My email's a mess. Eric Stuller for $50. Everyone knows that everyone dies, and nobody knows it like the Doctor. But I do think that all the skies of all the worlds might just turn dark if he ever, for one moment, accepts it. Eric Stuller for $50. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Axe, thank you for the $50, Eric. God damn. That is crazy. Captain Spire for $2. Axonar, what can we do to help heal the divide? Talk to Alex. Alex is the cause of that. Alex is the one who can end it. I personally don't care about the project. I'm not against you if you want to support it at all. It is not something I will ever discuss here after the super chat ever again. The dude has made it pretty clear how he feels, and that's cool. That's cool. I've never done anything personal to him, but he's been talking a lot of shit, which he has every right to do, but I'm not going to help him. Why would I? The guy's his own biggest problem, man. Guy's always been his own biggest problem. But, you know, as far as fan projects go, CBS has made it clear that you could only do a certain type of fan project, and a lot of that's because of Alex. It doesn't make it fair. I think any fan should be able to make their stuff as long as they're not making money and profiting off it. No, that's not cool. But if you make a project and you're supportive, it shows the health of your brand, of your IP. If people are making fan shit, and if you discourage them, you're an idiot. But if you also take advantage of people and try to make money off of something you shouldn't be, well, you know, I'm not saying that was the case with Alex. I don't know. Richer Scale Studios for $10. Your opinion on Transmetropolitan Cyberpunk comic book series by Warren Ellis and Derek Robertson, one of the greatest ever fucking written. Period. I'm friends with Derek Robertson. At least last time I checked. I haven't spoken to him since Christmas. But I love Derek. He's a great guy. Mike Roach for $5. Sam Raimi would be cool. Men Coen Brothers. What would you think about Werner Herzog doing superhero movies? Maybe Doctor Strange. That'd be interesting. I think Sam Raimi's perfect for Doctor Strange. Herzog, I'd check it out. I think if he did a Legion movie, he'd be perfect for it. The Gray Ghost for $10. Seeing the rants against David Ayer on Twitter about sexualizing Harley Quinn and his male gaze camera angles in Suicide Squad 2016, I don't think they've even picked up on 2011's New Era 52 Suicide Squad #1. I know, Gray Ghost. David Ayer is a good director. David Ayer knew what to do when it came to Harley Quinn. I think, listen, Snyder Cut fans, I think David Ayer got fucked over even more because he did not get his movie made. And Warner Brothers was interfering so much. Release the Ayer cut. There, I said it. I mean, release the Snyder Cut too. How could you be against releasing the Snyder Cut? What harm would it do? I don't understand it. It's not like the movie was a hit anyway. So you release the Snyder Cut, you make a few more bucks, and you make a bunch of fans happy. But as far as all these fake ass people out there who pretend to be against the Snyder Cut, they just want to talk about it. They need something to talk about. How you be against a Snyder Cut? Oh, mad to the Coen brothers, says Mike Roach for $2. I like the Coen brothers. I like them a lot. And they have a connection to Sam Raimi. They do. Sebastian Annan for $10. For years, the crazy blue hairs were waiting and searching for the fast shish to appear. Oh, for the fast dish to appear. Pointing fingers everywhere, never realizing in their zeal they unerred. Okay, Sebastian, I'm going to have to start over, man. I've been kicked out of 3 high schools, and when I see, I get caught up sometimes. For years, the crazy blue hairs were waiting and searching for the fast-ish way to appear, pointing fingers everywhere, never realizing that the zeal they ushered in themselves. No, they don't understand what they ushered in. They don't have any self-awareness. They're just fucking dumb. They went to college for a little while. They think they figured everything out, and somehow they found a way to, well, it's manipulative. It's manipulative what they've done. So what's the best way to deflect an argument? Either start yelling or say you're scared. Now, most people used to not do that because they had a lot of pride and they didn't want to look like a punk. But now people will just, I mean, like, being a victim, being defeated is cool. Being defeated, before, our pride would not allow us to do that. And it would keep some civility. But now people look to be victimized so they can wear it as a badge of honor because sympathy is the only currency I don't know. That's the only currency they know, the emotional currency. It's a manipulative thing done by very insecure people. Insecurity is, it's a epidemic in this country right now. Luis Sola for $5. Hey, Gary, would you be willing to have Razor Fist on? He has said he would be willing to come on and just needs you to DM him. Since I go, fuck yeah. Oh my God. Hell yeah. Wow. No, that would be brilliant. Hell yeah. Lucius Sula, thank you for reaching out and doing that. I will DM him. I will absolutely DM him. I didn't realize you would actually go and talk to him. Thanks. I fucking love Razor Fist, man. He's great. That's top tier YouTuber right there. Look up, I mean, if you want to know where I stand politically, I watch a lot of Razor Fist and I watch a lot of Crowder. I do. But I'm not right wing. I'm not. There's too many other things I believe in, but fundamentally I'm against taxes. I'm for free speech, free expression. I don't care how you identify, who you sleep with. Doesn't bother me at all whatsoever. I think you do you. Let me do me. Don't tell me what to do. I won't tell you what to do, and we will get along just fine. Start telling me what to do and how to live and what I like, and start calling me a Yahtzee, and then we have problems. Look up Monster Tubulum Doctor Who cover. Gary, you and YouTube, you'll get a kick out of it. Okay, I'll look it up real quick. Oh, okay. I can't. Well, I'll look it up later. I'll look it up afterwards, and we'll play it on Friday Night Tights. I got to be careful with other videos. I didn't even get to this article. Okay, real quick. I want to get to this. I do have to go. My God, it's 4? Shit. I fucking start babbling like a maniac. Real quick, we got to go over Russell T. Davies had an alternate ending for The Stolen Earth and Journey's End. So, 1 of 3. Huge cut here. Never even written because I could feel the budget buckling, but in the planning of this, the blue suit doctor would whiz back to the Shadow Proclamation, whip them up into a war, and lead a Jadoon fleet to the Medusa Cascade. So this is it's the blue suit doctor. He's basically the Metacrisis doctor, okay? So the Metacrisis doctor, who's half human, would start a war between the Daleks and the Jadoon, but just imagine it. Daleks versus Jadoon, but not just for spectacle. The point is, the half-human doctor is more wild, more dangerous, more warlike, i.e., he'll need Rose more. So the doctor would disapprove of him. So there's more of the doctor/doctor clash, resulting in the banishing. So when he banishes with Rose, the Metacrisis doctor, it's because he whipped up a war between the Jadoon, and I fucking love that idea. Now instead, it's a bit underplayed. Doctor whips up an improvised gun, which every doctor does really, but still, it works. But I took the bad doctor idea into the Time Lord Victorious. So all ideas lead somewhere. Russell T. Davies is a genius, ladies and gentlemen. I would have loved to have seen that, though. That would have been fucking awesome. Oh, my God. That would have been great. Now, there's another article, which I'm not going to get to today. I might do a video on it or something. This is Beyond the Great Depression. Will comic books survive? It's a pretty good article, but it kind of runs down everything I've talked about for weeks. If you want to check it out, it's The Guardian. I generally don't support The Guardian because they've insinuated that those of us who criticize Doctor Who are a bunch of Yahtzees. This is one of the perpetrators, so they can fuck off. There we go. And let's get over here. I will check out that YouTube channel. Thank you very much for letting me know. Oh my God, I'm like boomer Windows here. Here we go. DCG for $2.79 Canadian. What do you think of a live action Black Cauldron? I don't. I'm not a Disney fan. I would say no. I would say Disney, no more remakes of animated movies. No more remakes. Disney should, if I was ruling the world, I would force Disney to create something original for 10 straight years. No fucking remakes. That goes for Hollywood. But the Black Cauldron, I think I've seen it. I'm not a Disney fan. I'm a Warner Brothers fan. 200 Watt Studio for $5. Even Tegan was surprised by RTD saying that she and Nisa were a couple. Were they? I didn't see that. Whatever. I mean, who cares? Russell T. Davies, he's gay. And he never overwoke Doctor Who because he's a good writer first. I would have him back in a second. I don't think he could make Doctor Who as well as he used to be able to, but it would still be better than the shit we're getting today. Doctor Who's dead, folks. It's dead. It's fucking dead. When Moffat was there and Capaldi and Smith, it wasn't as good as that Doctor Who. I would take season 8 Capaldi level Doctor Who. Or even season 7 Matt Smith. That's the best you're going to get if those guys come back. But that would be the BBC not being woke at all. And it's just not coming back. The show just should be canceled because it's doing more damage. It's actually doing more damage. It would be better off canceled. Let Big Finish do its thing. Because Big Finish isn't going to grow your audience. Big Finish is there for the hardcore fans. The reason Star Wars and Star Trek and Doctor Who exist and are still produced by these big companies is because they want to grow the fan bases. And what they've done is shrink them all. Because they decide to get political because they got whooped up. I mean, Hollywood and the BBC collectively had TDS, and it really got to them, and it's a real thing. Hope people study that someday. I'm a big dummy. Whoever's my president is my president, whether I voted for him or not. I decide. I don't know. I don't think it's healthy to do something or to whinge about something I can't do anything fucking about. You can root for a fucking impeachment or something. It ain't happening. Move on with your life. You're basically, half of the country is like their boyfriend left them for their sister and they're still pissed about it. Just get over it. Comrade Care Bear for $2. Top Ramen or Man... Oh, thank you. Comrade Care Bear, thank you for the $2. I never watched Doctor Who. Where should I start? 2005 Rose episode. 2005 Rose. It's damn good. Comrade Care Bear, that's a fucking... Well, yeah, you'll like it. I believe it's on Amazon Prime. JP for now, and then it's going to HBO Max. JPRPH $1, $1.99 for Top Ramen or Manchurian Ramen. Manchurian Ramen. Manchurian, but I'm a cup of soup guy. I'm a cup of soup. I like the cup of soup. I bought $300 worth of cup of soup. I like the spicy. I make it spicy. I bought beef, but I make it spicy. Edgardo Martinez. Welcome, mi amigo, at the Joloja level. Thank you. Elizabeth D. Westworld became WW2 World, and HBO is also airing a show called Plot Against America set during WW2 and is an allegory for Orange Man Bad. So bad. Yep, HBO's down the shitter. Edgardo Martinez for 10,000 Chilean pesos. Here's my humble support, at least for a Colombian coffee. Is this Colombian? Colombian pesos. Awesome. Me and my wife are into the lore of Sherlock Holmes, and no, they're not gay. God bless you, man. No, I love Sherlock Holmes too. So I actually love it. So thank you. Thank you, Edgardo. Cheers, my friend. Barry Harker for 20 pounds. Hey, Gary, I work in the film and television industry and making armor. I check in on your channel to see what the vibes are. Fan of the channel. Can Instagram you later. Working on a project that you can chill about. W. Stay safe. Got you. Stay safe, Barry. Instagram me. Instagram Mrs. Nerdrotic. Barry Harker. You make armor? That's fucking awesome. Awesome. Nick NK33 for $2. White rice, dried beans, and canned soup. Easy and cheap. Yes. As a matter of fact, I think that's what my son just made my other son for lunch. Big son, Nerdrotic the tall, made it for Nerdrotic the small. Why are you doing that, motherfracker? Working on a project that you can chill about. W. Is that a win? I was trying to figure that out, Barry, but is that a win? Stay safe. Oh my God. If it's good, that if it's Lord of the Rings, I have promised one thing, Barry. Nothing personal, by the way. Thank you. Lord of the Rings, if the show is good, I'll probably dedicate my channel to it. If the show is a woke mess, I'll probably dedicate my channel to it. Chances are I will become a very heavy Lord of the Rings channel coming soon. I don't think anybody complains about that. I'm going to, I talk about when the Game of Thrones prequel comes out, I'll cover it. Hopefully it takes place. If they're smart, when they come out, they're going to go, this prequel takes place in the world of the books and not the world of the HBO show. I know they won't do that, but whatever. But yeah, awesome. The Farewell Sarah Jane story is on the official Doctor Who YouTube channel. It's only 13 minutes, 13 seconds long. I'll definitely watch it. That's brilliant. Thank you, Nicholas Horton, for £5. Thank you for your support, man. Thank you for your support. What do you think about the Crow? What do I think about the Crow? Can you see him? It's one of the best superhero movies ever made. There he is right there. Best superhero sound, not original soundtrack, but soundtrack with compilation soundtrack. Best compilation soundtrack ever, and the only one to have a song about another superhero, which is Henry Rollins doing a cover for Ghost Rider, and some of the best editing ever done in a movie with like nothing left. I fucking love that movie. I absolutely love it. Yes, The Crow is the shit. So that's my feelings on The Crow. Best superhero movie of the 90s. Trying to think. Yep. Best superhero movie of the 90s. Took me a minute. Gentle on James. All right, we're gonna wrap it up there, folks. I've been going for 3 hours and 20 minutes, which was an hour and 20 minutes longer than I intended. If I missed a super chat, it will be made up tomorrow when the Nerdrotic Nooner will be at 5 p.m. Pacific time. If you want to catch me earlier, I will be on the Critical Drinkers channel at 12 noon Pacific time with Jeremy and possibly others, and it's going to be fucking awesome. Az and I from Heel versus Babyface are planning something very special for you, which we will tell you about very, very soon. Friday Night Tights. I'll ask Razorfist if he wants to come on Friday Night Tights. I mean, no obligation or anything. You can say no. Yeah. I'm having fun, guys, and it's because of you. I thank you all. I hope you're safe. It looks like we're going to get through this. It looks like things might return. I'm not going to say back to normal. Because what is normal? But I will be here for you. I've got a Westworld video coming. I've got a Doctor Who video coming. I've got that Star Trek Picard video coming. I'm working on it. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I'm going to have to do the subscriber spiel again because YouTube's like fucking around with the recommendations. So I'm sorry about that. So thank you everyone who has shared the videos. I really appreciate you. Lady Gravemaster, email me. And I've also got an announcement tomorrow if I make my phone call quick enough. Okay, so I will see you guys later. Thank you, Barry Harker. Netflix show, my friend. Oh, okay, gotcha, Barry. Thank you. Barry, I'm blonde. I'm a little slow. I did a lot of drugs. I'm blonde. It's Barry. I love you, man. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the 2,200 likes, to the 7 new members, to the Modrotics, to all the super chats. Thank you. I love you guys. Remember, not all who wander are lost, and may the wings of liberty never lose a feather. Ciao, Bella.